So let's see. I believe that we're live, but I'm going to wait until I get some confirmation thereof, forsooth and forthwith. How about you guys don't find that funny?
I'm sorry, I'm tweeting at this lovely guy.
Yeah. Cracking my own self up. Okay, so someone out there that can see us, whether or not we're live, let me know, and I'll get everything rolling here once I've got confirmation of that. We're live. All right. So I hope you guys have your big girl panties on. Yeah, it's gonna get deep. The caca is gonna get pretty deep here, but we're live. We're here. I'm kind of like I'm really thrown off and pissed off. So I'm gonna forego any kind of jazz hands. But this is episode 491 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast, coming to you live from Gainesville, Florida.
Let me show you the jazz hands.
There you go. There you go. Woo! Yeah, that's to Florida. Okay, episode 491. Why you should not trust Republicans or any politicians for that matter. But I'm telling you, don't put your trust in Republicans either. I know we don't. Of course, we don't trust Democrats.
Well,
we don't trust liberals.
You can't trust any of them then. There isn't.
You can't trust any politicians. That is a trap. Don't believe in it. That's what we're going to talk about. Episode 491. We've got some stuff. Obviously, there's things happening in Virginia. There's also things happening here in Florida. So that's what we're going to talk about. We've got Walter Keller from Safety Harbor Firearms. We've got Babyface P. We've got you guys here. Please smash the thumbs ups and all that kind of stuff. Let me drop the open of the show on you guys. And
welcome back to the Hank Stream
That's
situation.
Right. We're here. Make sure you subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell so you can be notified every time we go live. We're going to do a show today. We didn't do one yesterday because Walter and I, we were on urgent Stranger Palooza / Dirtfoot Racing.
Dynoing.
Yeah, we were dynoing stuff yesterday, yeah. So we were doing that. So we are going to do a show today. We're going to do one tomorrow, specifically talking about SHOT Show, etc. So we'll do the live SHOT Show thing. Babyface and I will also do some kind of video about that. And we got Babyface P here, as I said. All right, so news is breaking. This is what we're all kind of like caught up with here. Oh, before I get into that, thanks to Walther Firearms for supporting the podcast here, the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. We appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Make sure you guys, if you're in the market for something cool, check out the Walther folks. Let's see. Richard Hughes is throwing up a super chat here already. He says, Walter, if you're podcasting, who is building the guns and mini bikes? And
too many questions, Richard.
Yeah. Also, help him get to 2,000 subs. So please go out there and subscribe to Richard Hughes so he can get to 2,000 subs. All right, so
and he'll stop asking all these goofy questions.
Yeah, no. Then he'll Of course, what happens after 2,000? Yeah, you gotta get to 10.
Yeah, I need 3,000 now. Come on. It's like,
yeah.
You ain't gonna make no money on the YouTube. You ain't gonna do it.
No. Well, listen. I understand.
Unless you're a tranny putting makeup on or something, you're not gonna make any freaking money.
Okay, I guess.
It's already exploding.
Yeah, and it's on.
I just tweeted at our lovely representative.
Yeah. So let's do this here. Let's try to stay organized. Please, folks, share the video. Smash the thumbs ups. Okay, folks, people that we have out there, help us out. Smash the thumbs ups here. We are going to be talking about breaking Florida 2A news that's coming out here. Let me see. I'm going to pull up one of the articles that we have. Which one should I think I'll pull up the one with the lovely Marion Hammer, of course.
The cat lady.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Let's see. I'll throw this up here just so you guys can see. If you haven't seen it, it says Florida Senate panel unanimously approved a bill to close state's gun show loophole. Did you understand what I said? Unanimously. So the Republicans here in Florida on that committee also voted for this. And just to give you an idea, the cat lady here, Marion Hammer, she no likey this. She no likey. Okay? The legislation is nothing less than gun control on steroids. That's from Marion Hammer, who opened the door to these asshats in the first place.
Oh yeah, thank you, Marion, for allowing these guys to get this momentum behind them.
Yeah.
Right,
So, go ahead, Walt.
Thinking that they're empowered now. That's what they feel. They have to do something. No, you don't.
I don't think it was just Marion Hammer. I think we're all to blame for this. We're all to blame because we believe in Republicans. I've been saying this for a couple of years now and getting sometimes chastised by people because I get really mad at some Republicans here in Florida, Keith Perry. And
Keith Perry's a joke. We all know he's a joke.
Yeah. So, and then I refuse to vote for those people. I refuse to vote for anyone that puts any kind of gun control laws, bills, or anything like that on the table here in Florida. So anyway, let me get into this. Let me get into this so I can give some people some context here. So this is what the article says here. Go back to throwing this up. Okay. Over the objections of the National Rifle Association, a Senate panel Monday unanimously signed off on a far-reaching measure that would close the gun show loophole, quote unquote, create a record-keeping system for private gun sales, and set aside $5 million to establish a statewide strategy for violence prevention. What that would be. The proposal, SB 7028, is a priority of Senate President Bill Gavano, Republican, Bradenton. If you're in Bradenton and you think you're a gun guy, but you vote for Bill Gavano, you're not a gun guy. You're not. You are Bloomberg of Bradenton, basically. That's who you are. As evidenced by the Senate Infrastructure and Security Committee consideration and passage of the measure the day before the 2020 legislative session begins, the sweeping legislation would require background checks and a 3-day waiting period for firearms sold on property to which the public has the right of access, such as a flea market, a gun show, or a firearm exhibit. The measure would also mandate that guns be securely stored in households and other places where minors under age 18, up from the current threshold of 16, could have access to weapons. No one's remembering here that minors have saved their own lives and others, but whatever. I'm not trying to say that people shouldn't, teach gun safety and all that to their kids. Of course you should. But now you would have to do that, and I guess if for some reason the cops wound up at your place and they feel like your guns aren't stored safely enough, you go to the prison.
Your audio is doing really weird stuff on mine.
It's because he's sharing his screen.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's probably
because Hank has never fixed it.
Oh.
I've complained about it for how long? Hank's never.
Maybe you should fix it. Okay, so let's see. The bill would also. Okay, I'm not sharing the screen right now. Okay, the bill would create a new section of law that would require guns to be stored to prevent access by a person of unsound mind. I don't know what that means. So basically, a safe that goes
determines that.
Yeah, a safe that gives you a nutso test.
Nobody can. You can't. You can be freaking completely normal 1 second and lose your freaking mind the next second. How do you? You can't stop that shit. Come on.
So it's so insane. So let's see here. I'm gonna read a little bit more here. And the proposal would impose new requirements for private gun sales. Under the measure, individuals who sell guns to other people would be required to fill out a form that would include the name, date of birth, identification information of the purchaser, the affidavit, which would include background questions aimed at ensuring the purchaser is eligible to buy a gun, would have to be notarized. So
No.
What does that mean? So now you have some kind of responsibility.
Any fucking buddy can be a notary too, by the way.
Yeah, but what does it even mean? It
doesn't mean anything.
It
doesn't mean anything. What's stopping somebody from putting anything they want down there, and then some notary signs it because you're giving them money?
Yeah.
Most likely.
Yeah. So let's hear what the cat lady has to say about it. The measure contains the worst, this is a quote from her, the worst universal background check language I've ever seen. Marion Hammer, the NRA's Florida lobbyist and a former president of the National Gun Rights Organization, told the Senate panel. It appears to be an actual attempt to ban private sales through red tape and fear. She said asking average citizens to create what amounts to a government form and get it notarized is ridiculous. It also puts liability on you. The legislation is nothing less than the gun control on steroids, Hammer said. But committee chairman Tom Lee, Republican, Thoughtnotsa? I never heard of that. Thoughtnotsa Sasa. Did you guys ever hear? I didn't know that Thano Natso Sasa. Thano Natso Sasa?
What?
Florida has a bunch of weird ass counties. Let's just put it that way.
Honasassa.
The
Honasassa?
That's how it's pronounced. It's the
Is that what you're trying to say? The Honasassa?
Oh, okay. You guys have heard of this? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what Honasassa
No, I see it, and I see Thoughtnotsa.
I thought. Hey, hang on. I got a good one for you. I thought you were Indian.
I'm not that kind of Indian. I'm not that kind of
Yeah,
Indian.
I know you're not.
Yes, I'm not that. I just see this and I see thought. That's what I see in there. But I'm
Thoughts
dyslexic.
everywhere, hey. Thoughts.
Yeah, I'm dyslexic.
The Honasassa.
Yeah, so the Senate's proposal comes as mass shootings in Florida and throughout the nation continue to rise. At least 81 people have died in mass shootings scattered throughout Florida over the past 3 years. So everything's a mass shooting right now, according to these people. In 2018, the legislature, for the first time in decades, passed a handful of gun control measures after the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas thing. And remember those guys said they wouldn't do anything else?
What did I tell you yesterday? I found there's an article saying that these people accepted in excess of $500,000 for
a lot of money. Yeah.
And so they bought the votes. And how much money did it take to buy these votes? I mean, I would like to check.
Bloomberg. I think you were saying that Bloomberg backed up a truck to the Florida to Florida Republicans and gave them a lot of money, right?
Yeah. So let's check their bank accounts and their campaign things and see who's donating. I guarantee you.
Waston Probe says Theno Sasa. I'm just gonna call it Thoughts and Natsasata from now on. That's it. Thoughtsville, Thoughts County for the Thoughts.
No.
Where is that, by the way? Someone look that up and tell me where the. Yeah.
Honasassa
It's just south of us.
I'm not a native Floridian like these guys. I've never heard of Thoughts and Natsasata.
Honasassa is
It's
like
up
just
north of Tampa.
yeah, it's just northeast of Tampa. East of Tampa. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little nothing slum.
Right. It's suburbia is what it is.
Yeah. So check it out. I reached out to a friend of mine that I have in Tallahassee, and I asked him about all of this. He says Senator Tom Lee of the Florida Senate Committee on Infrastructure and Security brought up SB 7028 yesterday. The committee is made up of 8 members, 5 Republicans, 3 Democrats. 5. So in other words, the Republicans have the power to shut all of this down.
Shut this shit down.
Yeah.
And just straight out.
Once again,
threw us under the. What a bunch of
once again, check
trash.
Follow the money.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that they're on the take. I guarantee you.
By the way, everyone that's stopping in, please smash the thumbs ups, guys. Thank you. We appreciate it. Okay, so he says, to go back to the committee is made up of 8 members, 5 Republicans, 3 Democrats, all voted unanimously for SB 7028 and passed the proposal, making it an official bill. So it's not law. It has to be signed into law.
It has to be signed.
Yeah, it has to be passed through the Senate first and then signed into law by the current governor. And if he wants to be, I don't know, president or a senator or congressman or some nonsense.
Yeah, if he wants to continue up and try to get elected higher up, then absolutely he'll sign that into office.
The bill is Senate President Galvano's pride and joy. Remember when I said early last year, Senator Galvano tasked Senator Lee to look at ways to stop quote-unquote mass shootings? Well, this is the result. SB 7028 is universal background checks and the expansion of red flag laws.
Did he not come up with the obvious answer of shoot him in the fucking face? That wasn't the most obvious? Shoot the mass shooter in the face? Like
like it did in Texas?
Yeah, that's not that's not obvious. I guess you didn't hear that.
That's not an answer.
No, they're gonna pretend that happened in an alternate dimension, guys.
That's just more violence.
In the alternate,
we can't be violent with. We need to talk.
Yeah.
We gotta talk them down and tell them.
That only happened in the alternate dimension where thoughts and Natsasata actually exist.
The Honasassa.
The Honasassa. Wow. Okay. Listen. Usually pronunciations don't throw me. You know.
That one got you.
Yeah.
all the Indian stuff in Florida, or quote unquote Native American stuff.
Native Americans.
Will throw anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And if you like that stuff, check out some of the stuff in Louisiana too.
Oh, Hank, you should go. You should go to some of the Indian areas, Native American areas. If you ever see big hills, start digging in them and see what you find.
Oh,
are you trying to set me up?
Those big mountains.
Are you trying to set me up?
Because when they catch you digging him, they're going to throw your ass in jail.
Yeah. Trying to set me up. Like, yeah.
Like I think you'd be better off going killing an alligator or something than digging in the mountain.
Yeah. I've been to a powwow. Okay. So he says that he's checking with the 2 Amendment Committee, the 2A committee, chair of the Republican Party, to see what the party's official stance is. And this person's come up with there's gonna be an article.
You know what the official stance is? We have to do something.
Yeah. So
absolutely, instead of just
yeah. So here's the thing.
That.
Here's the thing. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this info out. I know, Walter, you're mad. Okay, so I asked him to tell me who sits on that committee. Okay.
Yes.
Senator Tom Lee, Republican. Senator Keith Perry, mofos. I told you guys, stop voting for Keith Perry.
Fuck you, Keith.
Don't vote for Keith Perry. Don't vote for any of these guys. Senator Aaron Bean, Republican. Senator Ed Hooper, Republican.
Oh, he's from here.
Oh, Walter, you voted for him.
Piece of shit.
You voted for him, Walter. I hope you don't do that ever again.
Oh, that fucker ain't getting my vote again.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
Senator Travis Hudson, Republican.
Oh, Ed Hooper's a former, I think, a fireman too.
Oh.
You know, they play that first responder love fest thing. Oh, fuck that.
Senator Janet Cruz, Democrat. Senator Linda Stewart, Democrat. Senator Annette Taddeo, Democrat. What? Okay, all those chicks from the Democrat side. I guess they mesmerized these Republicans' asses. Maybe we should investigate what's going on behind the scenes of that committee. But yeah, so there you go. You cannot trust Republicans, and I'm warning people. This is the same thing that's happening in Virginia. If you guys think that that the Republicans in Virginia are on your side, I would say don't believe that either. This is happening all over the country. That's how we're getting this crap.
You know, it's funny that, well, you gotta remember, like I said, follow the money. Mm-hmm. It's all being bought.
Yeah,
it's not coincidental that all of a sudden people start voting opposite, completely different than they used to, or a party starts acting differently. It's because they're being bought. They're being paid for. People don't change. Well, they do. They do for money. People do anything for money.
And I think, look, they're getting money from all sides. Evidence to that, at the risk of
the big money is from the Bloombergs and the Soros, all their little organizations. That's the big money. Republicans have money, but they don't have that money.
Right.
They don't have it because where's all the Republican groups that like the Democrats have? They don't exist.
But you know what the problem is? The problem is this: on our side, we're giving money to Republicans, okay, and they're taking the money from us, saying, "Oh, we got your back. We're going to support the Constitution. Don't worry, we got you. Just vote for us. Because if you vote for those other guys, then you'll be living in Russia." So we give them money, right? And then they take the big money from the Bloombergs and the other people as well, because it's all a money game to them.
It's all good. You know, we got to be fair. Okay, anyways.
Yeah. So, for example, there's an article, and I know I'm going to get in trouble with Patrick here because I'm going to throw up this article on the screen here. I'm going to try to do it briefly. Trump could be big beneficiary, in quotes, in Virginia gun control battle, urged to get involved. So if you guys can find that article, I don't want to leave it up here too long, but I'm just going to read from it. It says, the exploding battle over gun control in Virginia could help President Trump return the state to the GOP in November elections, according to a leader of the effort to swap back limits on weapons. Gun owners are wide awake. Donald Trump is going to be a big beneficiary of this, said Philip Van Cleve, president of the Virginia Citizens Defense League. He should be tweeting more stuff on it, taking advantage of it, activating his base, he added. In reaction to plans by the state's new Democratic legislative majority to pass sweeping gun control measures, some 100,000 gun owners and supporters have flooded into county and city meetings in the past 2 months to call for gun sanctuaries, to ignore any new state laws. The state GOP has attended many of those meetings to sign up new voters. Ooh, we got to get money from them, and then lie and backstab their asses as soon as they get the money. Trump lost Virginia to Hillary Clinton in 2016, 44% to 49%. And in 2019 state elections, Democrats took control of Richmond. That's because your asses didn't go out and vote, people. But in threatening gun control, said Van Cleve, Democrats woke a sleeping giant that should help the GOP this year. Why are your asses sleeping in Virginia?
Because we got President Trump and he's going to take care of everything.
Yeah, well, they're sleeping.
We got all the
He's going to wake up to come get the money. But what makes you think that Trump doesn't want all this shit? These guys are doing this, and they're doing it under Trump as the president. So trust me, he's awake. Walter, he was at the game last night, right? I was watching the game with Walter last night. We'll talk about that later.
You weren't watching it. You were just there.
I was making fun of the game, basically, while Walter was watching it.
That was a pretty good game, actually.
Yeah. So they basically declared war on gun owners, he said, adding people are now active, awake, and they're angry. They're not just saying, oh, it's irritating. They're mad. Gun owners proved that early Monday when they jammed a Senate committee being held to review several gun control bills, including gun bans, a universal background check, and a limit on handgun purchases. VCDL and other gun groups pushed for supporters to show up at the meeting. One group said the meeting room was divided between pro and anti-gun control supporters. The National Rifle Association encouraged attendees with free ammunition, magazines, and T-shirts.
You don't... Who... No.
Who goes there for that?
Encouraged by free shit. Go and stand up to these people.
How do
Quit
you...
being a pussy.
How do you... Yeah, well, the Democrats typically bust people in for these
It's
meetings.
true, but...
Yeah.
Decline respectively says, I comment on every one of Trump's YouTube videos about how he is a gun grabber and libertarians will screw him over in 2020. Can't wait to vote third party.
Nobody gives a shit. Nobody pays attention. I'm not trying to be rude to whoever that is, but nobody pays attention to YouTube comments. Except for me. I read all my YouTube comments, so if you want to go check out my videos at babyfaceP.com or youtube.com/babyfaceP, I'll reply to all your YouTube comments.
I got a comment right here for you. I got your comment right here. Listen, you know what I think? I think that the Republicans just don't really care. They'll take this opportunity. They'll get the money from people. They'll get the support, and then they'll do the same crap.
It's really wild because I feel like Democrats do care in the worst way possible, and Republicans are apathetic and just go, I'm here, who the fuck cares? Like, they don't have any spine. Where the Dems, when they get power, they start doing shit.
And what they're doing to gun guys specifically, right? That's who we are, what we're talking about here. But what they're doing is they're saying, oh, if you don't vote for us, then those guys they're going to get into power, and then you'll see what they'll do to you. Why do we have to wait for them? These guys are giving away the whole chicken coop. They're doing it. At the same time that they're giving us gun control, they're like, and you better keep voting for us. You know? I'm sorry, but that feels like being, sexually assaulted by Republicans, right?
It's time to start. It's time to start finding out where these guys are campaigning, where these guys, specifically here in Florida for us, where these guys are going to be town halling, and making sure they get an earful of how retarded they are.
Yeah. Don't vote for them. Keith Perry, I'll never vote for him.
No, Keith Perry, I'll put the Democrat in instead.
And I see his dumbass.
100%.
By the way, we've given Keith Perry a piece of our minds.
I will, yeah. Oh,
We've done it
he
before.
didn't like me.
Yeah, but I'll see him out there trying to campaign. Huh?
Keith Perry's retarded. He doesn't know
He's not a Republican. He does not believe in the Constitution.
No, whoever gives him the most money, whoever gives him power, he's one of those that will do anything to maintain his position in politics.
All of these guys are seeking higher office at the end of the day. I'm sure Keith Perry, that's his next step.
I will. You know what? I would be willing to campaign for the Democrat running against Keith Perry. Whoever you are, to talk about. We'll sit down and talk guns. If we can come to some sort of agreement, I will campaign for you here in Gainesville.
I don't
I'm
care.
serious. Keith Perry's got to go.
I don't care who wins, because if people in Florida and around the country and Virginia and all these places support these guys and then support these guys putting gun control in effect, okay, or not do it, these guys could have killed this in committee. This is the same thing that happened 2 years ago with the gun control that we got here in Florida.
Yep.
Keith Perry could have killed this in committee. They have the control. It's 5 Republicans and 3 Democrats.
Yeah,
But guess
yeah,
what?
they can
Why would they
easily
kill in
kill
committee something they came up with?
Yeah.
There's no reason.
Money.
There's no
Money.
reason to do that. I guarantee you Keith
Together,
Perry's running for
money.
some higher office. He's going to try to run for governor
Money.
or Congress or something like that here
Keith
in
Perry
Florida.
isn't your friend. Keith Perry isn't a good politician. He's a liar, and everybody out there needs to be aware that these 5 Republicans, we know where the Dems stand. We all know where they stand. These five Judases need to be shown for who they are and never be allowed to get seats again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you think about all this, Walter? I know I kind of cut you off, when
Oh, that's
you
all
were
right. No,
flowing.
I'm looking at Ed Hooper's website right now.
Yeah. So Ed Hooper, that's your guy, huh?
Yeah, I wonder what happens when you send a really nasty letter to him. Will I get red flagged?
Oh, Walter, we're already on the list. Come on.
Well, I know that, but I mean, I'm not going to be I'm not going to be nasty like that. I'm just like you.
I go at these guys on social media. If I see them in person, I go after
I'm-
them. If I go at them
Absolutely.
on social media, all that kind of stuff, man. These people do not deserve your respect or support, and do not fall for the lies that, if you don't vote for me, there's worse shit's gonna happen. Don't believe that anymore. Don't believe that. Okay.
Yeah.
It's just like Republicans on the national level kept telling us, "Oh, guys, just wait for the midterms." Are you guys gonna believe that midterm bullshit again?
For the rest of our lives, just wait for the midterms. Just wait for the next election, guys. Just wait. We'll fix it on the next one. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
No. No.
So
Your
I'm
chance is done.
yeah,
You've tried. It's over.
I'm sure that Republicans would like to flip Virginia, for example. I'm sure they would like to
they
flip
will.
Virginia and get Virginia back, but then they're gonna still keep doing this
They're
bullshit.
gonna just fuck us over again.
Yeah. The people in Virginia that are mad, you guys need to, if you are actually, you believe in the Constitution, you're actually Second Amendment guys, you're actually gun guys, you run. You run. You can't leave it in other people's hands. Okay? Republican, Democrat, I don't give a shit about any of them. I don't trust any of them.
National Association of Social Workers.
Yeah, Wolfwind Prepper, shout out to him. He's always supported the show. He says the ultimate irony is the Second Amendment is a directive to be used against this very tyranny, but Americans don't want to face the music and the responsibility.
I miss the good old days when you could have angry mobs with pitchforks and burning hot tar.
Yeah. Brian
Right.
Quick is trying to get us to show Gorn. Here you go, Brian Quick. I know. You want to see some Gorn? Here, let me see. Hold
It'd
on.
be a lot easier, actually.
Yeah, there you go. There's some Gorn.
With today's technology, you could
Orange and
get
blue.
some
That's Gator
oil going
colors
quick.
right there.
Some tar would be nice and warm before you know it.
We need to. I wonder, can we recall these bastards? Oh, look, Walter's
No.
showing some.
That takes a
Not
lot.
happening.
That takes a lot of effort.
Yeah.
A lot of signatures, and then it doesn't happen anyway. So
I wish
Yeah.
I would personally campaign to remove Keith Perry.
Me too. I would be
Yeah.
on board with that.
How
if
many-
if it were possible? Yo, you need like a massive majority. It's not happening.
Yeah. The problem I think.
But you got to remember, we just can't let the Democrats have the seat. Remember, I'll vote for anybody that can win the seat. We can't have the Democrats having the seat.
Yeah.
Fuck you, turn
Man, the problem that we're having here is people have forgotten why the Second Amendment is so important. I mean, mofos like frickin' Dave Chappelle understand the Second Amendment
They'll remember soon.
better than a lot of other people out there.
If Virginia continues the way it's going, they'll remember eventually why the Second Amendment's there, and then they're gonna hate it even more.
Yeah.
um,
What is this?
Everybody gets real quiet when we start talking about.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. No. What did you say?
Well,
Say it
Everybody
again.
gets quiet when we
Say it
start
again.
talking boogaloo.
Oh, you're talking
There's
boogaloo talk? Are you ready for the
there's-
boogaloo, babyface?
Ready? You'll never be ready, but
No, you'll never be ready.
Oh, actually, I love the dance. When do we start dancing? The boogaloo. Dance the boogaloo.
You kick your foot. You do this.
I told you guys the electric slide.
Like
That's the
always,
dance.
One thing that always kind of gets me. Everybody asks, "What gun do you carry? What's your carry gun? What's this? Where do you do this? How do you do that?" Well, if you know everything I do, then
It ain't good.
no, and that goes for what you're boogalooing too. So
Yeah,
just,
you don't want to tell people about the boogaloo.
just
You
keep it to yourself. Don't be
They're
Captain.
boogaloo.
Don't be Captain Boogaloo. You know.
Don't be Captain Boogaloo.
Don't be Captain Boogaloo. You're not in a Marvel. You're not in a Marvel
Captain
movie.
Boogaloo. Somebody
stop
draw
watching
that
that.
out.
Stop watching the Marvel movies and thinking that you're a superhero and you're gonna go out and just.
Who's the leader of the Boogaloo? I'm gonna put their face on a T-shirt and title it Captain Boogaloo.
Captain Boogaloo. Yeah.
You could divide the people talking about those things into sections. First of all, the biggest section is the people who don't even have any guns.
I know exactly what I would do if
All
it
right.
came to that, but I'm not going to tell the whole world what I would do.
Yeah. There's another section of those people who are dyed-in-the-wool, savages, and they can't wait to have domination over people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can.
So
they stack up easy. They're
Yeah.
easy to find.
So I mean, listen, that whole thing's gonna be a shit show. Okay. So.
But yes, we don't want that to happen. But once again, going in and I've got this and I've got that and I've got this and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. It's like, that's okay. Do what you like.
You don't know what you're gonna do because you're not.
Yeah, you're not in that situation, so you're not going to.
We live in a world where
you know what, Hank?
you can get hit. You can get hit by a slug from a mile away. All what you're gonna do and all that kind of
What
stuff
you're going to do then?
don't mean
You're
nothing.
going to fall down in a clump. That's what you're
Yeah.
going to do.
Be a bag of meat.
Weston says Babyface P needs to run against this Perry character. We need young men like him in office all over this country.
Hell yeah.
You know what? I would absolutely do it. I will look into it. It's probably not for another 2 years that he's running, maybe a year and a half. I'll absolutely look into what it takes to get my name on the ballot, and I'll absolutely.
Yeah.
For anybody that wants to know, you can find my opinions on just about everything for the last
Public.
489 episodes of Hank's podcast.
Yeah. If you run, we will support you, Patrick.
I would do it. I'd
Yeah,
have no
we'll support
problem
you.
standing up.
Same thing with you, Walter. If you want to run against that ass hat in your town.
Well, you look at his, he's got a stack of honors and awards. And like I said, he's a retired firefighter too. So, oh my God, you're gonna take on the first responder.
There's astronauts who are ass hats. There's soldiers.
There's military
There's-
people that are.
There's special forces dudes who are ass
Yeah,
hats. Sorry. Your
like
ass
one
hattery doesn't have anything to do with, one thing doesn't have
One
anything
would-
to do with the other.
Like one with one eye, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good old one eye.
Well, and that's all about the money.
Universally hated.
because look at Obama, for example. When he ran for office, he didn't have no money. He had no money.
Oh, can we talk about this? Because I've been wanting to I've been really wanting to get on this.
You've been
Lately.
wanting to get into some Obama.
I've been wanting to get into Obama drama.
Okay, all
We're gonna
right.
call it hashtag Obama drama.
Mhm.
Yeah, Walter, he had nothing going into
Nothing.
his
Zero.
presidential election. Did you see the house he just bought?
No.
Well-
Where? In Hawaii?
Yes.
Oh, he bought a house. I thought he got Martha's Vineyard or something.
No, that's it. I'm sorry. It was Martha's Vineyard
Mm-hmm.
for $11.75 million.
Baller.
How much does a president make each
I have
year?
no idea.
250,000, something like that.
I wonder if
Yeah,
that's some Epstein money getting spent right there.
From what I understand, he gutted the Democratic National Committee before he left. Took whatever he could and win. And that's why they're so fucked at the moment, which is good for us. But
Yeah.
So when you run for office, national office, it takes a lot of fucking money.
For sure.
He had a bunch of backers that, of course, when you back and you put the money in, you expect something out. Solyndra, you can name all of Obama's things that he did political payback. So, it just goes with the turf. So,
Yeah. Let me This is a sidetrack. Let me just say this. Captain Boogaloo is trademark of Hank Strange Media from henceforth.
I'm gonna go. Hold on. Let's see.
You didn't say it, Walter. I said it first, so you're gonna have to
like
pay
I
me
said,
line fees.
I don't think Marvel will like my reference to them and Captain Boogaloo, but
No,
it's
they
that same.
can't.
It's that same. That you're just
Yeah.
you want to be a badass.
Yeah, they've got no ground to stand on, though. They've got no ground. You can't own Captainery.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you can't own it. Len Holt says, what kind of music would Captain Boogaloo listen to?
I'm about to buy CaptainBoogaloo.com.
He listens. Captain
You should.
Boogaloo,
Do it, Patrick, right now.
And then I'm going to redirect it somewhere. I'll figure out where.
Captain
Safety Harbor
Boogaloo
Firearms.
No.
Brian.
Safety Harbor Firearms.
Or you can send it to hankstrange.com. I'm fine with that. Since I own the trademark on Captain Boogaloo. Brian Quick says Captain Boogaloo and Tennille. Let's see. Hold on. I'm going to throw some. Len Holt says flowing cape and blonde hair waving in the breeze. Let's see. Elfsters, Rifles, and Reloading. Shout out to Todd. He says, laugh out loud. Walter, Captain Boogaloo, and his sidekick, Hank Amazingness. Hank Amazingness. Oh, boy.
No, don't include. I'm not. No,
Yeah.
Walter wants no part of the Boogaloo right
Brian
now.
Quick says that needs to be a SHF new patch.
Yes, Captain Boogaloo.
Yeah.
Walk softly and keep your Boogaloo to your damn self.
Exactly.
Okay.
Oh, exactly.
It's
Okay,
right. It's
that's
actually that same thing. If you're going to attack your enemy and you're going to say, "Well, we're doing it tomorrow at 3:00," not going to work very well, is it?
No.
You might want to leave because we're going to bomb you. Not going to work too well, is it? No. I mean, they did do that. Psych ops. You drop leaflets and say you might have a bad. But you don't tell them when you're going to do it.
No.
So
By the way, speaking of patches, I'm going to throw up a thing right here for you guys.
Patch?
Let's see. Speaking of patches here, I'm going to throw up. Boom. Check that out. What do you guys think? I know you guys. I don't know if you all
we
could
can't
see.
anything.
But, yeah. Some new Hank Strange patches in the works.
I already called first dibs.
Right there. Lola didn't bring them in. I did not go home today because I actually spent last night. Me and Walter were sequestered in a hotel room.
That didn't sound right. I was watching football. That's what I was doing. That was my only football game I've watched from start to finish all year.
Who was playing?
That was LSU and Clemson.
Oh yeah.
I tried my best to ruin it for Walter.
It was pretty even for a while, and then LSU pulled away. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, that was all right.
Yeah, I try to ruin it, but Walter just basically did what he does here on the show, what he does in real life when I'm telling him stuff. He just ignored me.
No, I didn't.
I was like, Walter, what? I don't want to see these dudes. I want to see the cheerleaders.
The cheerleaders. So then when the cheerleaders come on, you're editing.
That's it for you.
By the time you look at the cheerleaders, by the time you look up, they're gone. So
Yeah, I was trying to throw up a video.
And then you call the Heisman Trophy winner person. Looks like what's his
Home
face?
Alone.
Home Alone.
Yeah.
Looks like Kevin from Home Alone.
Yeah, in a football helmet.
Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, Culkin.
The heroin addict, whatever his name is. Yeah.
I think Macaulay is clean. I think he's clean. I don't know.
I thought he was pretty messed up for a while.
Yeah, Weston Probe says Hank and Walter in a hotel room on purpose. Yeah. We were out in Destin. We went to Race Chip.
Yes.
Which is in Fort Walton Beach. Yeah. And we had our cars chip tuned.
Yep.
So Walter, we can probably get into that later. Huh?
Yeah.
ChipTunes. ChipTunes is 8-bit music.
It's what music?
Race
You've
chip.
never heard of-
Race chip.
I know, but ChipTunes, if you Google ChipTunes, it's like 8-bit, like Game Boy music or SNES music.
Oh.
There's people that create ChipTunes.
Oh, that's a thing. That's a thing.
Yeah.
Only Patrick would know about that. That's some shit that only Daniel God is
Mr.
my.
Hank in the music industry doesn't know about chiptunes.
No, not about that. No, not
I
at
thought
all.
he was a gamer from the olden days with Mario and stuff. Don't even know.
Dude, I was playing video games when people had to freaking go down to the laundromat and drop
What a
quarters
quarter
in there.
machine.
Yeah, or go to freaking Grand Central Station to the
Or they
arcade.
Gotta get
They'd
bugged.
go to the local convenience store to play with a video game machine, play video games in the convenience store.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
It's such
And
a weird thought.
And you think about that, yeah, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
it's like
yeah.
there was also a magazine rack in there too at the same time.
Yeah. I was playing video games when you were in Pampers, son. I'm guessing Babyface P never had Pampers. He just came
know
out
what?
knowing how to. He was potty trained at birth.
Listen, I came out shitting and rolling.
Getting ready to boogaloo, baby.
Yes, I'm boogaloing it up.
The boogaloo baby coming out. Woo! Yeah, let's get it
Yeah,
on.
you know what? Let me tell you, Captain Boogaloo is Patrick's alter ego.
Captain Boogaloo.
He was boogalooing. Did you see this crazy egg thing that Patrick ate a dead egg?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How bad was
And
that?
he's
How
talking
bad-
about Captain
I guess we're gonna
Boogaloo.
Talk about that. You guys
You
missed
didn't
out.
even. Hank tells me you only took one picture of the most awesome Mustang, but you went
Yeah.
up there and ate a rotten egg. That's
Yeah,
what
I
you did?
mean, I wasn't taking pictures like you know, I'm not in the news. I don't need to take a ton of pictures of it.
Yeah, but you're a Mustang.
Yeah, so I took my one picture. I walked around it and looked at how rusty it was, and
It was rusty, really.
oh god.
Okay.
So the story, the guy got
First
it,
of all, explain to people where you were that you saw this Mustang and what Mustang
so
we're
I
talking
went to
about.
the Mecum auction in Kissimmee, Florida this weekend. It comes to Kissimmee once a year in January, and it runs for about a week, a little over a week. And that's for anybody that doesn't know, that's a big car auction where super expensive stuff goes through. And the big thing this year, last year, the big thing where they had some Ferraris that were multi-million-dollar Ferraris, but whatever. This year, the big sales item was the Bullitt Mustang from Steve McQueen's movie.
Yeah, the one that
The
was
Bullitt
in
Mustang.
the movie,
In
the
the movie.
actual
They
car
were-
on screen, the hero
Yep,
car.
there were two of them. One of them is now, I believe, in pieces because it was in a junkyard or something rotting. This is the one that, funny enough, was in the movie. It was the only Bullitt Mustang ever made, and they never produced
Yeah,
them
and Steve McQueen drove this one. He drove
in
this
the movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
The other one
this
was
guy-
driven by the stunt guy, I think.
I think so. Yeah. This guy ended up buying the Bullitt Mustang back in the 70s or 80s, and using it as his daily driver. It was his wife's daily driver car. I was watching the video while we were there because they had on a big screen of this video, and the son who now sold it was saying that he remembers his mom just taking his sister and him to school every day, picking up groceries in the Bullitt Mustang from the movie. So anyways, they've had it
For a while. And by the way, Steve McQueen actually sent them a letter saying he wanted to
a
buy.
letter saying, I want my car back, and he was like, I'm not selling it. I'm sorry, it's not for sale.
Yeah, they ignored him.
So finally, they ended up this year selling it off, and it was $3.74 million for the Bullitt Mustang. And it's not a good car. It's not a nice looking car. It's a daily driver Mustang that is rusty and the paint's coming off. And the crazy thing is you can't fix that. You have to leave it the way it is.
Why would you fix it? Why would you?
You can't go and repair that.
But why would you want to fix that though? I don't understand.
I mean, I wouldn't want my investment to rust away. That's my thing.
Okay, you can just spray it with something that will hold the rust where it is, and then.
You know what I was saying is what you should do, since people are 3.74. It's never going to be driven again. It's probably going to be stuck away.
Yeah, in
somewhere.
a rust-free room.
That's what I was going to say.
Rust
Stick it in a box and fill it with nitrogen so it can't rust anymore.
Yeah, what is the stuff that they use for guns? I mean, come on now.
Yeah.
Well,
What is that thing? Blaster oil?
that's oil. That's just oil. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't want to oil it. I mean,
So anyways, 3.74 million Bullitt Mustang sold. It was, it was a good looking car.
Yeah,
for-
but here's the thing, Patrick. This is the thing, though. You, who say that you're a car guy, and then what we were talking.
No, I do not
We,
say I'm a
we
car
were
guy.
talking bad about you, by the way. We were talking bad
I
about
do
you.
not say I'm a car
You
guy.
said you're a car guy. Also, you are a Mustang guy.
I'm a Mustang guy.
You're a Mustang guy.
I have no connection to the Bullitt Mustang. I've never seen the movie. There's nothing like drawing me to that Mustang.
Okay, let me just hold my head in so it doesn't explode.
I have no like emotional connection to the Bullitt Mustang. I think it's a really cool car, but I was like, I didn't grow up with the movie. There's just no connection to it.
Yeah. So this is the level of belligerence that I'm dealing with Babyface P.
I'm a realist.
He's at this show. He knows me and Walter. We're car guys.
There wasn't anything else worth sending you guys.
He's at the show. He sees the video. He sees the car. How many pictures did you take, Babyface?
I think I took 2. One of them's on the internet. The other will never see the light because I think it was blurry.
How many pictures did you take Andrew Zimmer?
I took 0. Thank you, Marley. She took them.
Okay.
But somebody. So at this same show, someone gives you a dead egg. You eat it.
Absolutely, and it was awesome to meet
Why?
Andrew Zimmer.
Why did you eat the dead egg?
Because it was awesome to meet Andrew Zimmern. So I've told Marley one thing in us growing old together. I told her that one thing that I want to start doing more, because when I was a kid, I was a super picky eater, like chicken tenders or GTM.
I love when the 20-something-year-old people are talking about growing old together. But go ahead.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I told her that I want to be a more adventurous eater, so I'm willing to try just about anything once. And the century egg was one of those things that I've seen people eat before, and I was like, I want to try that. I want to see what a century egg tastes like.
What is a century
Good
egg?
question, Walter.
So
what is that?
It's a fermented chicken egg.
Why is it fermented, Patrick?
Ask the Chinese. I don't know.
Is
Chinese
it like
people do that shit.
Is that kind of like a kimchi kind of thing? They just bury it or something and it rots and you eat it?
They just bury that shit in the desert or something, and then you dig it up a year later and eat it, and it's disgusting.
It's a dead egg.
Absolutely disgusting.
What color is it? What color is the yolk?
Black.
And you ate it.
Is green. The yolk is green.
And your wife
is white is you know those Haribo like Coca-Cola gummies? Have you seen those? Or root beer gummies? The white is that color, like a clear gelatinous black.
Yeah. You know, Walter, I'm going to tell you something.
No.
You know what the funny thing is? You know what? Why are you saying no, Walter? Why are you saying no?
No, I'm not eating that shit.
Yeah. Well, here's the funny thing. You know, Babyface always talks about stuff that he did in college, like what happens in college stays in college. If he would eat a dead egg, that has to make you wonder. That has to make you wonder, what the hell did he do? What school did you go to again? Where did you go?
It's fucking food. It's people consider it a delicacy somewhere.
No.
It was
Absolutely
disgusting.
not. You should have put that egg down and taken your butt back and gotten more pictures of the Mustang.
It was worth my $65 sweatshirt that they gave me.
Wow.
Absolutely worth it.
Yeah.
Anybody out there that has a chance to eat a century egg, do it, and then you can talk about it. And Hank will never know. Hank will never know how bad it is. He doesn't know because he only eats steak well done.
Speaking of that, we went to Longhorn Steakhouse.
Did he get a well done steak?
Yeah.
He did. I got prime rib, man. It was freaking awesome.
Did you slap him with?
He gave me a bad look. He gave me a bad look, but he didn't say anything.
I didn't give you no bad look.
Walter was trying not to be judgy. He was trying not to be judgy.
I didn't even look. Let me tell you something. His steak arrived, and next time I looked up, it was gone.
Yeah, that's right.
I got a 16-ounce prime rib. It took me a little while to get it all down, but
yeah, that prime rib looked good too. It was a lot of nice fat on there too, right?
It wasn't well. Sometimes you get prime rib and there's too much fat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're paying for fat. There wasn't a whole lot of fat on it, but it was good.
You need it in strategic places. Like every time you cut off a piece, it should have some nice flavoring fat around it. Florida Gun says the yolk becomes a dark green to gray color with a creamy consistency and a strong flavor due to the hydrogen sulfide and ammonia.
Oh, I bet.
The white becomes a dark brown translucent jelly with a salty Listen, Babyface, man, you scare me.
You gotta try everything. I'm willing to try just about everything once.
Now I gotta ask you this. You can say you can answer or not. Was the aftermath tremendously rank? Did you like?
Oh my gosh! Why are you even thinking about that?
Did you like? Oh,
poor Marley on that ride back home.
Yeah, I told her I was like, you might not want to sleep next to me tonight.
Open the windows.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
Applebite says, "Would you eat chitlins?" I would, if they were well cooked. I would be willing to try it. Eat them? Probably not. I probably wouldn't want to eat.
When we went to that whatever that gun show was at Aries, and I tried to tell him, I told him to leave the frickin' pork alone. It was the bottom of the pork, the bottom of the pork thing from a street vendor, and he ate it.
I was so hungry. I was so ridiculously hungry.
Patrick is that dude for reals. He's that dude.
Hey, if something, you know what? I'll try it once, and then I will never have a century egg ever again in my life. They did have durian as well. Another person had to eat.
Oh, that fruit thing that's really nasty.
Yeah, they said. So what the guy was saying is it smells like rotten feet. It smells like dirty, stinky, rotten feet.
Socks.
Yeah, and it tastes like onions, like gross onions.
Yeah. I don't even want to talk about this dead egg again. You will be the first on this panel. You'll be the first person to be possessed by a demon. You.
Listen, when Boogaloo happens, I'm ready. I'll go find me some chicken eggs.
Oh, you are ready. Oh, for real.
I'll go eat.
Yeah.
Scavenging.
You are ready for that. I believe you would go for that long pork. I believe you would do that.
Oh man, you know what?
You are that guy.
Enough.
Yeah.
Loin is loin.
You are scary.
Before I forget, I want to thank Pixamite for the goodies he sent from around Christmas time. I finally got them.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, thanks for the goodies. Yeah.
We got a little. Oh, let me show this. By the way, this here. Speaking of something that finally gotten.
What's that? The cars.
You know,
they're
these.
They're not in my space anymore.
Yay! Check that out. That is really, really cool. Let me see. I'm going to start from back here. Lambo, Porsche.
Can't see that.
This is what is it? Acura right here. This is a Lexus LFA. This is a Bentley. What is that? Is that a Beamer? No, that looks like a. I'm going to say that's a Maserati. There goes the R8, and there goes a Mustang. There's a Mustang in the collection, so there you go. Thanks a lot. Patrick, you probably didn't recognize that Mustang at all?
It looks like a yellow banana stang.
Yeah, it is a Mustang, Patrick, just in case you don't know.
So did you guys see good guy with a gun in the Texas shooting received the highest award Texas has to offer for a civilian?
Very cool. Well deserved. Yeah, he should get it. He should get it. Trump should have already put a medal on this dude.
Yeah, what's the highest medal for?
But I don't really believe. I'm gonna tell you something. I know that I don't believe Trump is really a gun guy. Sorry, guys.
No, he's not. We know he's not. Everybody knows he's not.
I gotta tell you guys, I don't really believe he's a gun guy. But yes, congratulations to that guy. It was an awesome thing that he was there to save all those people that were in the church. Unfortunately, obviously, some people lost their lives. It could have been a lot worse. But I don't think it would have been with that guy being there and the rest of his crew, because those dudes were trained. They were in there. They also deserve some kind of recognition, man. Those guys were ready.
If he would have missed, somebody would have hit that son of a bitch.
No, but you got to give them props that he did what he had to do, and those guys came and they didn't open fire. They didn't need to, but they had you know what? Maybe that guy should be training some police departments. You might want to have this guy training some police departments, I think, because they did a good job. They did a good job.
They did.
Yeah. Len Holt says he's running for council. Is he? He's running for a council seat. He should be elected in Atlanta.
Absolutely.
Can we get that guy? You know what we need? We need him to be president.
Yeah. Everybody else has been underqualified. What's the matter?
Yeah. We need that guy. Robert McNeely says, hey, did anyone see where they voted on the gun show loophole BS? Yeah, we did. We're really pissed off about it. You know what? I'm really disappointed in Republicans across this whole entire country. But specifically here in Florida, man, the Republicans here suck giant, hairy, sweaty, dead egg donkey balls. Okay? I have
camel nuts.
Yeah.
Camel nuts.
The Republicans here are worse than Democrats. To me, They are horrible, horrible people. They preach that they believe in the Constitution. They tell us
absolutely don't.
Yeah, they tell us when they see us, "Oh, I believe in the Second Amendment. I own a gun." Yeah.
What? A squirt gun? What do you own? I mean, come on.
Keith Perry, let me tell you guys again here. If you're, please, you know what? Anyone who's out there that's in Florida, let me know right now. Let us know who are the Florida people. So I'm going to tell you guys again. Senator Tom Lee, Republican, Florida. Senator Keith Perry, Republican, Florida. Senator Aaron Bean, Republican, Florida. Senator Ed Hooper, Republican, Florida. Senator Travis Hudson, Republican, Florida. Those guys are the ones who are bringing this gun show loophole bill to the forefront here, and they should never ever get your support ever again.
Nope.
You know, and if you're one of their constituents, you need to give them what for. And I can't wait, man, to give Keith Perry a piece of mind. I'm constantly throwing up stuff about Keith Perry and Scott. Yeah. Scott that went on to the Senate, that bastard. I'll never vote for those people. I don't care. You could send Hillary Clinton down here. She could get their spot. I don't care. You could send freaking AOC. I don't care.
Speaking of AOC, you see she won't pay the Dems her dues?
Yeah, $250,000 a year. That's insanity.
What are you guys talking about? Dues?
I guess if you're in... I didn't know about this. I'd never heard of it. But I guess if you're in their party, it's like a labor union. You know, the labor union collects the money, the dues, right?
Right,
and then
right.
They go on parties and have parties. And
so the Democratic dues is a quarter bill?
Oh, don't do that. What? Who did that?
What? What happened? Oh my God.
I'm not volunteering as Captain Boogaloo.
Captain Boogaloo. He's there. He's live.
And besides, yeah.
It's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. That's a work in progress. I would like to see a gun instead of the star.
Yeah, you need a.
Yeah, because, and I would like to see some frilly lingerie also on Captain Boogaloo, please.
Oh God! What's wrong with you?
You want the real Boogaloo? Come on.
Boogaloo.
Yeah, listen, there should be, what do they call those things? Like, it's got a ball goes in your mouth, and then it's like one of those.
What? It's like an S&M thing?
Yeah. The Captain Boogaloo needs to have that, whoever's working on it.
Captain Boogaloo? What?
Yeah, where's it going? It's like
we're about to go.
It's like weird sex fantasy.
I'm going to go medieval on you. Oh, wait. Oh, hold on. Let me see. Oh, guess who that was that did that, Walter? I give you 3 guesses.
Let me guess. Richard, what's that?
Richard Nixon Hughes.
Yeah.
Yeah, here, let me throw that up. There it goes. Yeah, Richard, you need to put, I'd like to see a gun. I'd like to see some frilly underwear and some S&M garb on there.
Now, what does that have to do with...
It just has to do with, it's going to amuse the living daylights out of me. That's what it has to do with. Yeah.
I don't have time for this.
Len Holt says, wait a minute. Who says it has to be a man? Who says Captain Boogaloo has to be a man?
Well, okay, yeah. Who are you to say it has to be a man?
Florida Guns, he knows what I'm talking about. He says ball gag. Captain Boogaloo needs a ball gag. Come on now.
See, I don't know these official names for this stuff because, I don't do that.
DCG44's also had it. He knew. Joseph Anthony also knew. Man, you guys know about this stuff.
Yeah. I got your Boogaloo right here. Right here.
Yeah. Captain Boogaloo. Come on, you got to make... Captain Boogaloo has to be way more out than that.
Yeah, that's too simple.
Do you want Captain Boogaloo to be like trans or something? What are you trying to get out of Captain Boogaloo?
See, you need to be afraid of the Boogaloo. You need to be afraid of the Boogaloo.
Well, who's the...
Never mind. So, next up, did you guys see that the Colt Pythons are breaking left and right all over the internet?
Oh, what? Really? The new ones?
Are you serious?
I've seen that, yeah. So
how are they breaking?
Peacock 45. I watched the ending of his video where the gun quote unquote doesn't work.
Oh wow.
There's another guy that I watched that his gun didn't work. Something's wrong with the firing pins. You'll fire half your rounds and you won't fire the other half. Sometimes you'll get light primer strikes. Light primer strikes on a revolver, which is
how do you mess up a revolver? I don't understand.
All right. Back up. Go back 30 years, 40 years, okay? Colt Python, old technology, copy the old. Don't try to make it cheaper. Don't try to mim the firing pins. Don't try to, because people are expecting a Colt Python.
Yeah, man.
Don't fuck it up, Colt.
In the videos I've seen, they will not ratchet from time to time, so you'll pull the trigger and it won't index the cylinder. Yeah. How do you fuck that up? That's like the main thing a revolver does.
Is it actually a revolver?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a single shot when the cylinder doesn't index, I guess.
Yeah.
And then the other problem is the firing pins. People are getting light primer strikes on some of the other rounds. Which, again, how do you fuck that up? Like, that is the simplest. The only thing more simple than that is like a pipe shotgun or something. Like,
copy the working pistol.
When 95% of your workforce at Colt is on retirement. Yeah.
Well, okay, that's a good subject. I always like this retirement issue. You know, everything. Oh, you got to get 65 and retire. Now, if you want to do that, that's great. But you know how much knowledge and
craftsmanship and
we lose with this concept of
experience.
Retirement. And how many people die? How many people die shortly after retirement because they have nothing to do?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not.
I'm gonna work till I kick the bucket.
Me too. I'm not gonna be retired. There's no way. I'd go nuts.
I always kind of look at people. I know some people that are quote unquote and retired and they're doing stuff, but it's like they have more money and they can do that stuff. But it's like you got to have something to do.
Yeah.
You got to have something to do. So if you're really good at building revolvers and you can time them and test them and build them, and I would. First thing the government needs to encourage people to stay working by cutting their. Well, anyways.
Okay, so listen. Let's assume. Let's
I
assume
could run for president on that one thing and probably win.
Let's assume Colt has at least one of the pythons, right? One of their own pythons that they built.
Yeah.
If Babyface P can buy a burnt down python and fix it up, of all people,
Colt can't afford proper gunsmiths any longer. They don't have the money. Do you know what it would cost for them to pay gunsmiths like they had back in the 60s, 70s, all the way down to the 20s?
Dude, they could have made this in the Philippines. They could have made this in Mexico. They could have made this in what's the other place? Turkey. They could have done better than that.
The sad thing is we have skilled craftsmen here, but people aren't willing to pay them for what they
All right, first
deserve.
thing, Colt needs to move their manufacturing out of Connecticut.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Out of Connecticut. That's number one because it's very expensive to do business in Connecticut, and the state of Connecticut hates you. Move someplace else, but like you're saying, you could have contracted this out to different people. Don't charge a fucking crazy a price for it, and people would still buy it because you put the prance and pony on it, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, done.
Yeah,
done.
Well, let's see.
And be straight up with people about it. Don't try to hide the fact you're doing this or doing that, and people would buy it.
Yeah. Let's see if it's an easy fix. How many of the issues did you say you saw? You said it happened on Hickok.
2 separate videos, and the same 2 issues happened to both people, and it looks like they got early production guns.
I'm
sure they'll fix it.
Right. Who was the other person? Who was the other?
I'm gonna have to go look through my YouTube history because it wasn't a big.
Okay, if I'm gonna hand you a gun for review, aren't I gonna go out and put 100 rounds through it to make sure it works right first?
No. I disagree with that, Walt. I disagree with that. If you're really sending a gun out there for review and you do put 100 guns through it, that's not really. It needs to be it needs to be an example of what's gonna sit on the shelf in the stores.
Yep.
You know, so it should go through whatever process it should go through before they ship it out to consumers.
But you want to make sure it works before you hand it off to somebody. Sorry, I'm not going to hand something. You know,
the guy's YouTube channel is Golden Web,
Okay.
GOLDENWEBB. I've never watched his content before, but he has the same issues as.
Didn't you say that guy who you were too shy to even talk to? Didn't he do a video on this thing? Who was the guy?
Ken Hackathorn, and he loved it. Oh, Ken Hackathorn thought it was the greatest fucking thing ever.
Yeah, I mean, his might have been.
Ken Hackathorn was at the Colt facility with a Colt rep with a Python that has been probably very tested.
That's probably the tested
one.
one.
It wasn't an off-the-shelf Python.
Yeah. Well, let's see how quickly they come up, if that's really an... Because, listen, if you're making guns are mechanical things, thankfully, we don't want smart guns. But, you know, guns are mechanical things, so there could be issues. We go through that. Things come in for us, and there's mechanical things going on with it. It happens from time to time.
It's not dissuading me from buying one. I think I'm still eventually going to pick one up, especially when they drop the price a little bit, when they hit street value versus the premium. But it's just like, God, you have one thing. You're bringing out the Python. You have one job, and that's to make sure this kind of simple machine works perfectly. That's all you got to do is just make sure it works.
Patrick, let's be honest. You're a fanboy of Colt. They could put. They could slap a freaking Colt.
They could slap you in the face and you still buy one.
They could put. I'm
a fanboy of old Colt products. I don't own anything modern from Colt. I don't have an AR-15.
They could put that Colt logo on a friggin' on a yeet cannon or something like that, you know, on a high point, and you will buy it. Yeah.
I just had an idea. I'm not going to say it on the air though.
But I mean, how hard is it to fix? How hard is it to get this working right?
How hard is it to copy what works?
That's the thing, is they didn't copy the old design. They changed it up.
Something is different.
They changed the ratcheting mechanism because they wanted it to be more robust. Yeah, the ratcheting mechanism's different.
Do the old ones break?
You know what's hilarious is everybody is saying, "Oh, they're more robust. They won't go out of time as easy." And I'm like, I've never heard of a Python going out of time. It's not that common.
I'm not familiar with them at all, but is that an issue? I mean,
no, to me, it's a non-issue. I don't think Pythons ever really went out of time like they said. But I also wasn't a competition shooter in 1975, so who knows?
Yeah. Red Dog says, I heard Colt doesn't give free guns or pay for reviews. I've heard some tubers are not happy about this.
Good.
Yeah, I mean,
make them buy their own.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. I think it doesn't matter whether companies do that or don't do it. I think that if you make a gun and it's out in the world, someone will shoot it and make videos about it. Everyone is a gun tuber nowadays. Any gun guy is a gun. Every guy with a gun is on YouTube. So eventually, someone out there will have any gun that you can imagine, and they will shoot it and show what happens with it. So one way or the other.
Chris Bullitt says, instead of a Colt Python, we got a Colt Rat Snake.
Man, you Python guys are really mad. By the way, please smash the thumbs ups, folks. We appreciate you all smashing those thumbs ups out there. Let's see. Do you guys want to go to another gun thing? Let's see what other gun. What other new stuff? Because tomorrow we're gonna do tomorrow. I don't know whether or not both of you are coming on tomorrow, but tomorrow is the SHOT Show thing. So
I'll be on tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah.
Real quick,
what's up?
Firearms blog. CMMG introduces 5.7 AR kits.
Yeah, I was gonna throw that up right now. I was just about to throw that up on the screen.
Oh, look at this! U.S. Army goes for SIG's 300 Win Mag sniper ammunition. Imagine that.
Really?
Okay, let's talk about the CMMG 5.7 AR kit.
I'm just doing a quick review here. Let's see here.
Okay, but what do you think about that? You don't like that?
What, the
5.7?
Yeah, the 5.7. It looks interesting. It's not that top thing. It's magazine fed. It looks.
Oh wait, where is it?
Just use a Colt mag. Use like an AR mag.
It's on the firearm blog. Shouldn't be able to miss it.
I'm trying to find it.
It's right on top.
That's cool.
Holds 40 rounds of 5.7 by 28. Well, what?
That's cool.
It is not right on top for me. I see Colorado tripod, B&T.
Okay, hold on.
Hot gas crap.
I'll send you.
Introduces a 5.7 pistol kit.
Yeah, that looks. I like the way that. I don't actually like the ones that the magazine is on top like it would be in a PS90. I think, Walter, you have one of those.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
I'm turning into a FUD, I guess. I'm tired of seeing everything in an AR platform. I just don't give a shit anymore.
Really?
Well-
you're gonna be like that, you bastard?
fucked
This
up,
is
I
from the
guess,
guy. This is from the dude who just went on a tirade because of a Colt Python
They're
re-release.
garbage nowadays.
You already have one. What are you mad about?
Absolutely.
Why are you mad though? Why are you mad? Tell me why you're mad if you already have one that's nice.
Because a company that big should be able to make something that works.
Why? Because you want another one, huh?
No, because they should be able to make something that lives up to its reputation, or call it something different. Don't call it the Python.
Well, once again, just copy what you made originally.
Yeah, they can't though. They don't have people that can because the Pythons were all hand fitted. They don't have people that can hand fit shit anymore.
Well, import some
Okay.
from another
Let's
country.
not go back to the
Import
Python.
from
Okay, I
Thailand.
wasn't trying to go back to the Python.
Philippines.
I was not trying to go back to the
Okay.
Python conversation.
All right.
Okay, so you don't like this AR because it shoots 5.7 with magazine.
No, I don't. I didn't. I'm not saying I dislike it. I'm just saying I'm tired of AR-15s. I want some.
He's
I
over
like
the-
it.
You're tired of it. Okay.
He's over the AR.
Yeah.
The AR.
He's
platform.
so.
Yeah.
You know what? Can I say something, Walter? Babyface now. He's a YouTube impresario. He is so judgy now.
Absolutely. I've always been judgy. You know that.
No, you're extra now. You're extra.
Bullshit. I've always been judgy.
I also have I have with the AR stuff. I mean, I have all kinds of parts laying around. I have receivers. I got barrels. I have all this stuff laying around.
AR-15 is the best platform ever.
No, but it's really hard for me now to pick up and build something because I just don't have a lot of interest in it.
Oh, really?
Well, and I don't know. It doesn't.
Okay.
I say it doesn't excite me.
Excuse
You
me,
know,
Your
it doesn't-
Honor. Can I call your attention to something that you're coming out with for SHOT Show? Am I allowed to do that?
What the
Can
lower?
I'm excited
Yeah.
about that. I'm really excited.
Well, that lower is not an AR lower.
It looks like it.
No, it's
It's not a firearm.
Oh no, that's true. That's true. Okay.
The street bug. The street bug. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, so I guess when I say I'm not, it doesn't excite me. Conventional AR stuff doesn't. Now if it's like an AR-10 and it's got a 5-inch barrel or something, or
How have we not talked about this yet?
What?
CZ Scorpion carbine bullpup kit.
We have talked about that.
Did you guys talk about? Okay, I wasn't.
Hold
here
on.
for you.
You thought a bullpup came up in the universe.
Yes, it hadn't been talked about.
the Manicore thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you thought so in your mind a bullpup came up, and we didn't talk about it. Yeah.
And then the one went back down.
And we never discussed it. We never discussed it. So Walter, you would say that this thing is not AR pattern? Because I mean, let me see.
No, it is. It's 100%.
It's AR pattern. Yeah, I'm showing the raw metal version. It uses an AR grip.
No, the street
Safety.
bug stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, it uses AR components, but it's not an AR lower.
No, true. Okay, so by technicality,
Yes.
which did I send you guys the article about that?
Is that the one about
Oh.
the AR lowers not being firearms?
Yes, you guys got that
Yeah.
article, right?
There's some shit going down there that the
Where is
government
that?
does not
Okay,
want.
now I don't know what happened to my own
Yeah,
article.
but unfortunately, you might not like the result of what comes out of that.
The upper
It's gonna be
within
worse.
the-
Well, it could be a lot worse than it is now.
Yes. Yeah. Let me.
They're not gonna let the lower go away as a registered part.
They're gonna just add more registered parts.
What if now you have the upper and the lower have to both be registered,
Mm-hmm.
or
Yeah.
have the same number, or they're counted as one?
Mhm.
Don't there's a point where you have to stop poking the bear
Mhm.
because you might get
Well,
like the-
so okay, so let me just show this article real quick here, so we can explain to people what we're talking about. I'll just throw it up here real quick, give you guys a headline: Design of AR-15 could derail charges tied to popular rifle. If anyone's looking for that, that's how you find it. And let me go back to the guys here. Okay, so I'm just going to read this real quick. So the subtitle to that is Federal law enforcement officials are increasingly worried that the discrepancy could hinder some criminal prosecutions and undermine firearms regulations nationwide. So the thing is, Walter, it's not gun guys pushing this. It's lawyers for some
For
folks
gun
out
guys.
there Some of them are gun guys. Some of them are just bad guys. But you know,
if the government is okay.
So here's the thing. A subtle design feature of the AR-15 rifle has raised a technical legal question that is derailing cases against people who are charged with illegally buying and selling the gun's parts or building the weapon. At issue is whether a key piece of one of America's most popular firearms meets the definition of a gun that prosecutors have long relied on. For decades, the federal government has treated a mechanism called the lower receiver as the essential piece of the semi-automatic rifle, which has been used in some of the nation's deadliest mass shootings. Prosecutors, regularly bring charges based on that specific part. But some defense attorneys have recently argued that the part alone does not meet the definition in law. Federal law enforcement officials who have long been concerned about the discrepancy are increasingly worried that it could hinder some criminal prosecutions and undermine firearms regulations nationwide. And then there's a quote, "Now that the cat is out of the bag, so I think you'll see more of this going on," said Stephen Halberg, an attorney who has written books on gun law and history. Basically, the government has gotten away with this for a long time. So lawyers, the long and short of that, Walt, before you jump in here, lawyers have been saying, hey, this is not technically a gun, so you can't prosecute this person because it's not technically a gun. And you've been more closely
targeted.
Yes, the good word, yeah.
Let me throw this out you. New classification, my friend. Boom.
Yeah, but like you said, that new classification is going to mess everything up because these idiots made pieces of plastic in the form of bump stock machine guns. What if they just came out and said an AR-15 is a machine gun?
Mm-hmm. There would be civil war.
No.
There would be
okay, Mr. Boogaloo.
There would be Boogaloo. Captain Boogaloo says there would be Boogaloo if they came out and said, turn in your AR, every single AR-15.
No, that non-compliance.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is interesting, Walt. I mean, really, seriously, what do you think about this?
That was all in the news a couple months ago about where they dropped the charges against somebody because of right. So, and the reason that the AR-15 the lower receiver, the AR is the only one where the lower is the firearm.
Right.
Every other one, the upper is the firearm.
Right.
As you mentioned, the street bog upper is the firearm.
Right.
The lower is not the firearm.
Yeah.
The upper is the firearm.
Yes, that's a serial numbered part. Like on a SCAR and like on a G3.
Yeah, so a lot of us get thrown, if you're not deep into the gun world, you get thrown because, like, okay, so an AR, it's the lower, and you think that's how everything is, but that's not the reality of what's going on. Right.
And the story goes, the only reason that lower is because it was submitted for whatever to the Treasury Department at the time. They accepted it because that's the way that was marked.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always been like that.
It's just because they decided, decided
it was easier to mark the lower because it had flat spots on it versus the top, which...
Stoner, you're talking about, Patrick?
Yeah, well, Armalite.
Armalite, yeah.
That's how the Armalite just decided it's easier to do this. We're going to do this, and the government just said, "Yeah, go for it."
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the story I heard. So, for what it's worth.
So, I mean, technically, so what is it? The part that's serialized is the firearm, or they're just deciding where?
Okay. When you say that, a lot of European firearms, like the Street Bog, there's lots of serial numbers all over on it. But the upper receiver is considered by definition, the serial numbered part. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for example, a Glock has they've serialized everything on a Glock.
On a handgun, right? Yeah, but on a handgun, the lower is. The
all
frame.
lowers. The frame. Okay.
Yeah, the frames are always unless there's some weird. Where it isn't, but
and so even like in the what was it again? The P320s that are modular, the frame. It's there's a chassis that sits inside of the frame. That's the serialized part. Yeah.
That's the gun.
So I don't know. This is the weird thing about all of this is where does this settle out? Like you said, because now there's some states that are trying to make 80% lowers firearms.
There's some politicians out there that want to have serial numbers on all the gun parts.
On every part, yeah.
Every part has a serial number, and
and then every part is therefore considered a gun. So if you individually have
yeah.
a part, you have a gun.
If you lose a little detent, a 1/4 inch long, and whatever thick, that's a gun. So you can imagine having to laser engrave every single part on an AR-15. You know what that'll do to the cost? It'll make it crazy. So. Yeah, it's just.
This is an insane world that we're potentially, and not even potentially. I mean, in some places people are realistically living in this nutso world, this upside down world.
And it's just all of a sudden too. It's not like it's something. You really can't even blame it on Obama, because this wasn't going on when he was there.
Yeah. DCG44 says. He says a definition doesn't mean squat in the hands of the ATF.
Well, that's what I was kind of leaning towards. So now they'll say, well, okay, fine. You know what? The whole thing is, well, yeah, there's all kinds of scenarios where it could get really not good. So,
I don't think people realize, like, all these problems that we're looking at, these things that we're talking about, man. Let's think past the elections, right? That's coming up towards the end of this year. Let's think past that. Let's say theoretically Trump gets reelected. Okay. Let's say theoretically even Republicans get back a supermajority.
Nothing will happen.
Yeah, I think we're still looking at gun control. That's my personal thing. I think we're still looking at gun control.
They don't have any. When they were in charge, they didn't have any nuts.
Yeah, they have any balls back
I mean,
then.
when they were in charge, they could have done all the wall stuff. They could have done all this other stuff, but they were too scared of what some people might say, or think of them. What are you eating?
Yeah.
Panera.
Oh, I stopped going to
hungry.
Panera. They just got too green or something.
He probably got a dead egg salad sandwich or something.
I got a steak sandwich and some French onion soup.
Yeah.
Does it actually? Does it actually have steak in it?
Yeah.
Or is it? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
steak and onion sandwich. Look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. Yeah,
Hold on. Wait, let me go full screen on it here. Let's all look at Babyface P munching down here.
I used to get their French onion soup, actually.
They got rid of it for a while.
Yeah.
And just brought it back, and Marley's been really happy because she likes the French onion.
My son Will says you have to before you go to Panera, you have to take a shower. You can't.
Okay, explain the joke.
Do I have to take a shower before I go to Panera? Because it's just Panera bread. Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
Weak. It's one of those places where they care.
Yeah. It's very hoity-toity. Very hoity-toity.
Yeah.
There's by the way, this is what you all tune into the Who Moved My Freedom podcast.
Yeah, we used to talk. We used to
advice
show
on food.
and have fun stuff like that. Now we just ran.
YouTube neutered us. We can't do that anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll show my meat though. Here you go.
Oh,
Yeah, I can show my meat.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Oh. Yeah. We know you enjoy showing your meat, Patrick.
By the way, one of the people in the chat, and I forget, sent me a link about this knife that I was trying to figure it out where it was from and stuff.
Oh, okay. What did you figure out?
To find out, I believe it was used in the Pacific, and it was an Australian fighting knife thing. That's what one thing said, and but interesting, yeah. And I guess
that's
kind of rare, by the way. So
yeah. By the way, let's see here. Let me get this question. Throw this up here. So Richard Monder wants to know. He says, "Babyface P, have you been back to Hogan's?"
Oh yes, and it was good.
Yeah. Oh, you did? You went back? Okay, I didn't go back.
I've been back.
I'm saving that only for when Richard Monder is in town.
That's a Richard thing. We take him to Hogan's.
Yeah.
Hogan's. What's Hogan's?
It's like a sandwich shop here in Gainesville. That
okay.
It's cash only, man. You go in
It's
there.
not local. It's all over the state.
Oh, it's all over the state. Okay, I've never seen them. Yeah. Have you ever heard of Hogan's, Walter? Because
No.
I hadn't. Okay.
Well, I think Paul Hogan, who is
That's not a knife.
no,
This is
not
a knife. No?
Okay, I'm thinking the wrong guy. Never mind.
Yeah.
Oh, Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I've never been to Hogan's. No.
Yeah. Let's see. Atomic Bull says Panera is anti-gun. Yeah.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, I believe.
Yeah,
it.
they hang pretty hard to the left, the Panera people. So
Yeah.
They hang pretty hard to do.
Yeah. They're definitely be trans boogaloo.
They be tripping. They be tripping. Okay, do you guys want to talk about some car stuff real quick here? Do you want to explain to the people what we were up to yesterday while we were hanging out in the same hotel room? Which, by the way, let me tell you guys this funny story. So, like Walter said, Walter was looking at the football game. I was really tired. I tried to amuse myself by making fun of football, which Walter completely ignored. But we were so tired. We spent the whole day driving, going up to this place to do the dyno and all that kind of stuff. I spoke to Lola. And by the way, when I die on my grave, I'm going to be cremated, but, just put a big stone somewhere that says it was all Lola's fault. That's all I want. Okay, so I spoke to Lola. I was like, all right, I'm going to sleep now. Good night or whatever. We went to sleep. And the few hours later, my phone is going off. I completely.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. I'm like, what the hell?
I completely forgot where I was. I thought I was home, and my phone is going off with Lola's ringtone. And I'm like, what is going on? Why are you calling me? You're right here. And Walter's like, what the hell is wrong with you? It was just really funny, man. And then I couldn't go back to sleep.
I was kind of like, what the hell? It's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like, oh, it's his phone. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I started screaming and shouting, and Walter's like, what is going on?
So the real question I think is on everybody's mind right now is, who is the big spoon and who is the little spoon?
Separate beds, dude. Separate beds.
Come on, you gotta save money by getting the little tiny single bed.
I would rather have that dude who was in the cell with Epstein.
You gotta sleep head to foot so nothing can lock in.
No way.
You get that rotten egg smell.
Oh my god.
That's right.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, so
explain.
We went to the SEMA show in Las Vegas. We met the guys from
Race Chip. Yeah.
And so we chatted with them, and they're like, "Yeah, okay, come to. We're setting up place in Fort Walton. Come down, bring your cars. We'll do this, we'll do that. Blah 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 blah." So we, of course, set up the meeting or the trip the week before the SHOT Show, which
because that's how we roll.
I got chastised for.
Yeah.
By the way.
And I'm just going to throw up what the race chip is for people who don't know.
Right. And it's not about, black and white race. It's about racing. That's what it is. So I made that like, that sounds like what you get chipped.
That's not a funny
joke. You got a black chip
that's
for the
a
black
dad
folks.
joke,
You got a white chip for the white folks. I mean, what's the deal here? It's like, but anyways, back to being
Walter,
serious.
that didn't work.
It's all in fun. Don't take it.
Yeah. No, I understand. Right. I understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We got to be real, because that's,
Right.
So we go up there. We bring our cars. I've got an Abarth, 2012 Abarth. Hank's got the what year's
2019 Audi RS5
Quattro.
Yeah, Quattro. Yes,
all-wheel drive. Nothing else for him but all-wheel drive.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. So they did my car first. Of course, the Abarth, the engine is like shoehorned into the engine compartment.
It's Italian.
And especially with a turbo, it's even tighter. On the 2012. The plug that those guys needed to plug their wiring harness into was underneath the battery tray.
Yeah, we're gonna. I'm working on a video for this, but we got to cut it down. But yeah, the man, that I don't know. The guy was chopping up his like. Well, he wasn't bleeding. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no room in the engine compartment of a.
Pulled the battery tray out, got the wires hooked up, all tied down to the dyno. Ran it the first time, and everybody was like, it's supposed to have 170 horsepower at the crank. And everybody's like, no way, it won't have.
Yeah, it's going to have, I think you said it would have like 155 or 6.
Something like that.
What's it sit stock?
It's supposed to be 170.
Oh, okay.
That's what they advertised it at, 170. Okay. Mm-hmm. And we ran it on the dyno, and boom.
171.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it was on. But here's the thing: if you I never did a dyno before, and I don't think you ever did, Walter. But I know when I look at the videos of it, you need like a real smooth power curve, for that thing to be considered well tuned. But the Abarth had like just this like very jaggedy up and down kind of power curve thing.
It kind of, to start with, it kind of it went up, and then it kind of went down a little bit, and it went back up again, and yeah, but so the idea was to get those ups out of it and flatten it out, and of course increase the horsepower.
Yeah.
So after about 4 runs on the dyno, it was at least 4 on mine. Finally, he got it where it was, and it ended up with at the crank 215 horsepower, and I put the wheel was like 190, I think, or something like that. 187. So,
which is pretty good.
Yeah, I had a pretty big increase.
Yeah. And so with the RS5, that's supposed to be about 440 horsepower. So I think it's supposed to be 444. That's what Audi claims. I think when they put it on the dyno, they got what did they get? Like, I think they got 440 or something. Yeah, on the dyno.
Close to there.
Yeah. And then they did a couple of things. So now so first of all, the power curve for the Audi stock was actually not bad. Because, they're tuned, the RS5 is like, that's the Audi Sport division where they would take a regular A5 and, do all this tuning or whatever to it. So it was, American Gun Chick says, car talk. You going to SHOT Show, Hank? Yes,
we'll both be at the SHOT Show.
Yes, woman!
Come by and see us.
Yeah. Looking forward to seeing you out there.
Yeah.
So, she likes cars. I got to throw up that video of her driving the R8. I wish there was a camera on me because I was scared. I was like, this is where I die, and then everyone's going to say Hank Strange died in the car driven by American Gun Chick. So anyway, she was actually pretty good. She could drive. So anyway, so it already had a decent curve. So, they did the same thing on there, but the big problem that we ran into when they were putting this on the dyno is that the Audi has a crap ton of safety stuff built in, and it was actually shutting down on the dyno. So every time, I even went in there one time to see what was happening, and when it got up to 120 miles an hour on the dyno, it shut off, and they were saying that was happening because of it wasn't getting the proper load.
Does it have a governor or something on it?
Yeah, well, it's got a whole bunch of limiters and stuff like that, I think, right?
The car needs the resistance of the ground. Again, it plays a part in the way it works. I was going to ask him, on your all-wheel drive, is it always 50-50?
No.
70-30?
No, it's 70-30, but it could switch. It could basically it could go 50-50 if it had to.
Right.
Yeah. So if it senses, but basically because the dyno was kind of making it sense that something was off, and it would go all the way up to 120 miles an hour and then just boom go down. So they were able to tune it and everything, but they literally had to take it out on the road. I think that the race chip worked for it. It works great. The thing is, I was kind of disappointed because Walter got a bigger percentage horsepower boost.
Okay, here's the deal. It cost me less because it's not as fancy to deal with. But I got more bang for my buck because I got more.
Yeah. So now I think I need to buy an Abarth. I'll be on the lookout.
Maybe. It's all right. Suzuki doesn't have a turbo.
No, it doesn't have any turbos. We could put turbos in it, but it's still. I think I wound up getting about like a 60 horsepower gain out of it. Right. You could put it in different modes. And here's the thing about the chip. I'm going to throw this video up for the folks out there who are interested in the car stuff. The thing about this is that you can unplug it or take it off. And for example, where it is in the car, there's people, like if you take it back to the dealership or whatever, they would have no clue. It doesn't void your warranty or anything like that. And even if you get rid of the car, you could take that out and put it in another car. So any car that's supercharged or turboed, it could tune it, and they can reprogram the tune and everything.
Yeah, they can reprogram the box.
Yeah. So it was really cool to see dyno stuff, and then get the cars. And when driving back here, I could really tell. I don't know if I could legally tell you guys how fast we were going. Coming back.
I went faster. That one little burst I did on the interstate there, I went faster than I'd ever been in that part.
Yeah. I could tell you this. I was hitting something and plus 30 really easily.
55 times 2.
Yeah, I was American Gun Chick says she loves your hat, Babyface.
I said thank you.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah. So, yeah, we all do, but nobody can have this hat except Patrick, apparently. So
It was a gift from a user.
it's a-
or
yeah.
user from a subscriber, so I can't give that away.
yeah, it's a Babyface exclusive hat.
That's
You know,
right.
I've given you like 20 hats since I've known you.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never taken a hat from you.
Okay, whatever.
I don't know what you mean. I don't have
Get
a
mad.
hat.
Get mad about the hat.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
listen. It actually. What do you think, Walter? Do you think that race chip thing works or doesn't work? What do you think?
It works. I
Yeah.
can definitely tell the difference.
Yeah.
Especially like during. Well, one thing is like when you're cruising along down the interstate going, 80. Oh, we're not supposed to go 80. Sorry, going down the interstate going.
The
80.
legal limit.
Yeah, that everybody drives.
Yeah.
And you romp on it, man. It
Yeah.
goes.
It's just straight line. Yeah, I could tell from the way that it was driving. So
and
yeah.
then like getting on the interstate, I forgot half the time I didn't even have it in sport mode either. So I just had it in the regular mode, and then with the chip thing working.
Yeah.
And,
I didn't put
something-
mine all the way in sport mode either. I did at the end. But yeah, I think it's not super invasive or anything like that. You can literally unplug it. Everything goes back to normal. So yeah,
and
I'll throw that video up.
You can turn it off, so it's not even on either. So
Yeah.
How is there a switch? Is it phone control?
phone.
How do you do it?
app,
Cool.
Yeah, you can manually control it too.
and then he, just was it
And Dino stuff. What's that, Patrick?
I was gonna say, but you have to have a turbo. That's the main.
or a
thing. It has
super
to be
turbo or a supercharger.
Yeah,
Supercharged.
yeah. Like your car,
I
Patrick,
wonder if
is
they can do it in
turbo.
Dad's car.
Oh, please let us. Do you think your dad will?
No, he would never let us do it.
Have you
But I
driven
wonder
your
what
father's car?
They could take that thing. They could take that thing way up. I bet.
Yeah. Have you driven your father's car?
No, still haven't.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
He has
Seriously.
180 miles on it.
What?
That's
What?
it. Yep.
180.
drive it.
180.
Yep. Don't drive it much.
Yeah. Okay.
I flipped 30,000 in the Abarth on the way back. so-
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. My car already has like 3,000 miles on it. So, I don't know, man. Seriously, Mr. Babyface Senior. At least
So it's not a daily driver. He won't take it out in the rain. He won't take it out if there's like inclement weather.
Yeah. So we're talking about a red eye. By the way,
Yeah.
I'm curious to see. You should look up and see what that chip would do with a red eye. Might take it to 1,000.
Patrick, are you an only child?
Now I got a brother.
Do you like cars?
No. No, he's not a car guy.
Neither does Patrick, obviously, as we found out today.
Oh, it's not a Mustang. Forget it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. As we found out, he's hanging out next to the Bullitt Mustang. It only merits
picture-
one picture.
Drooled over it. Listen, it's like going to a concert and taking a video. It's for me. It's not for
What
all
about
of you.
us? What about
It's
us?
not for all of you. That's for me.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't share my
I'll
sexy
remember
stuff.
that.
I don't share my. Come on.
You know what? I'm gonna remember that when I'm at SHOT Show, actually.
No, see, that's your job. You can't say
Oh,
that.
now.
That's your job. And that's the responsibility.
Oh, I see. I
Ah.
see what it is. When I start getting those texts, listen, you need to go down and take pictures of this. I'm gonna be like, listen, this is not for you. Yeah.
That could be a whole series of videos at SHOT Show. Patrick, this is not for you. Patrick, this is not for you.
He doesn't look happy about that.
Oh, by the way, Patrick, this is not for you either.
Okay, let's go easy. He's already mad that he's not going to SHOT Show.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah, he's already mad about that. So, let's see. I see John Crump out there. Shout out to him. He says he's thinking about getting a demon or something. Please, John, get the red eye so we can test it. Yeah.
Demons are no longer available. You have to get one used, and the last one I saw that they had a plum crazy one there at the show that sold for 130, 135, something like that, because they no longer make the demon models.
Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to go through. Let me ask you guys, out of these cars, this is the last car thing, I promise. Out of these cars that I'm throwing up here right now, okay, let's see what people's car knowledge is. Out of these cars, which one would you get for yourself, and then which one would you get for your significant other?
Out of the 4 that you're showing?
No, there. Okay, so hold on. I'm going to show you guys this.
Oh,
I'm
you're
showing,
on a different camera.
I'm
aren't
showing 8 different cars here. So there is. I'll tell you exactly what we got here. We got a Ford Mustang GT, Audi R8 GT, Maserati Levante, Bentley Continental GT3, Lexus LFA, Acura NSX, Porsche 918 Spider, and the Lamborghini Aventador Roadster. So which one would you get for yourself, and which one would you get for your significant other? Just a question there. Let's test your car guyness. Babyface, you get to go first since you're the curmudgeon.
I would get a Ford GT. I would not get any of those cars.
You get the Mustang GT? It's in here.
I said I would get a Ford GT if I'm
Oh,
going to
the Ford GT. Oh, the Ford GT.
That much money?
Oh, the Ford
I'm not
GT.
even getting a Ferrari. I'm getting a Ford GT.
What about for Marley? What is?
For Marley, she likes big SUVs, so.
Oh.
Maybe. Well, are there? She wouldn't like a sports car, so I couldn't get her a sports car.
You got to get her a big old Suburban. That's what she needs.
Oh, she doesn't want that big of an SUV. She like a G-Wagon or something would be good. For her.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, that's all. That's all. Just
yeah, I know.
Yeah, G-Wagon.
Did Hank tell you about those import ones that are the German?
You get a military G-Wagon.
Yeah, Walter knows about those.
I told her about those. I was like, man, there's some Swiss ones that can come into the States. The low price is.
If you
like
don't have the
$18,000.
skills for that, it's not worth it. Money wise.
You know me, I can build anything.
Also, those cars, I've tried to get Lola to buy one of those G-Wagons. She does not like them.
There's
really?
no air. There's no air. The new G-Wagons?
The like America or what the version we see over here that everyone drives around in Hollywood.
They got all the whistles and bells in them.
Yeah, she doesn't think much of that. She doesn't really like that.
They just look like a box. That's all.
Yeah. So what about you, Walter? Which one would you get?
I don't know, man. I think I'm digging. I do like the Ford GT, and I probably get Peggy the Porsche 918. How's that?
918 Spider. Okay, very good. Here's what I was gonna say. I would get the 918 Spider for myself, and I would get the Bentley Continental for Lola. That's what I would do.
I could see Lola driving a Bentley Continental.
Yeah,
I could.
That's what I would. That's what one of these days. That's what I'll actually get for Lola. A Bentley Continental. So that way, when I feel like luxury, I have something nice to drive. That's how you got to do it. That's my plan whenever it comes to cars. So I don't know. I don't think Lola, I'll tell you, you know what Lola's car is? There was one in there that she's into. Maserati. She thinks those are the sexiest cars in the world. She never owned one. If she ever owned one, she would never even say the word Maserati ever again.
Got a face like a Maserati.
Yeah, those are horrible. Those are horrible cars, man.
There's a garage up ahead.
Maseratis lose like about, I think, 70% of their value.
What?
Yeah, within a year.
Wow.
Yeah, they lose a lot. Yeah, they lose. Well, maybe not a year, but in a very short time period, they lose a lot of value. Judd Miller says 918 and Aventador. Okay, there you go. 918 is the best car in that box. 918 Spider. That's a hybrid. That's the Porsche hybrid. So hybrid electric. It's like the most powerful, the most badass car. I think those are like $2 million.
Holy.
Jesus.
Yeah, if you can get them. Porsche doesn't make them anymore. I don't think so.
Okay, maybe that was a bad choice.
2013 to 2015.
Yeah, 918 Spiders, man. It's all about that. It's a hybrid. If you want to save the planet.
Chris Bullitt knows what I'm talking about when they say he got a face like a Maserati.
Is that a song?
It's a Ted Nugent song.
Oh.
And let me just say that you got a face like a Maserati, and there's a garage up ahead. Get in.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Wait, hold on a second. Say that again.
I got a face like a Maserati.
Who has the face like the Maserati?
Say like the male has a face like a Maserati.
The guy has the face.
Listen to the song, Tango Tango.
Oh God.
You got a face like a Maserati.
Hank, he's going for the vagina. He's going in for the vagina.
The vajayjay, yeah.
Oh God. I'm sorry. I am not up on the Nugent. I'm not up on the Nugent lyrics.
I mean, that's like 1980 Ted Nugent too. I mean, that's not like new stuff either. That's old stuff.
Oh, okay. Florida Gun says Porsche for me, Bentley for girlfriend. Boom, there you go. That's a guy that knows. Eric Gonzalez says Mustang for me, Lamborghini for the wife. Okay, all right. That's respectable.
I'm going to pull back on the 918. I don't like that hybrid stuff.
That's That's the best one in the world, right there, man. The best one in the world. You've seen that on Top Gear? You've seen it on Top Gear, yeah. Someone said
that Lambo wasn't a hardtop though. That Lambo was a convertible kind of thing or something.
Yeah, that's the convertible. That's the convertible. Probably the most comfortable car in there is the Bentley. That's the best. I mean, Bentleys are freaking awesome, man. Bentleys are awesome.
Never been in a Bentley.
No? Oh, okay. Bentleys are awesome. So, Flying Rich says, Walter, make sure you introduce Hank to Ted. I've met Ted Nugent several times. Ted Nugent knows me. He knows me.
Well, I mean, but he's talking about his music.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about music. Oh, the music. Oh, okay.
I mean, if I had to read the rapper's 10 Commandments or whatever that was.
That's Biggie Smalls' 10 crack commandments, Walter.
10 crack, yeah. Well, I'll give you some of Ted Nugent's 10 crack commandments. I think a little bit different crack though.
Yeah, I made Walter read the 10 crack commandments yesterday.
Yeah, I was watching football, reading the 10 crack.
He's just, man.
What's wrong with that, man? I'm educating him.
So I'm getting my education.
Yeah.
I did. I don't know what got me into this weird kick over the weekend. Oh, that Vlad TV stuff. I've been watching a bunch of that Vlad TV.
Oh no! Don't tell me you're hooked on Vlad TV now.
Oh God, yeah. I've been watching Freeway Rick. Man, I can't say his name.
Freeway Ricky.
I watched all the Freeway Ricky stuff.
Yeah.
But then I got into this thing about who killed Tupac, who killed.
That's deep.
Oh man, it is a rabbit hole.
East Coast, West
They
Coast.
solved. By the way, they solved the whole Biggie Tupac thing. They solved that. They know who did it.
Did he like bring in a bunch of? Did he like call shots on people or something?
Yeah, Puffy. It was Puffy and what's his name? Suge Knight.
Suge Knight called. That's why he's still in jail.
Yeah, the rivals. So Puffy and Suge Knight. Those are the big producers who are making all the money. And they had each other's actual money producers in terms of the guys making the money killed off. So Puffy is responsible for what happened to Tupac, and Suge Knight is responsible for what happened to Biggie, which really sucks. But that's how it goes.
Oh, and then that was the other thing I got into. Somehow I went from that into the Coachella. Have you seen the Coachella things where they did what's it called? Like holograms of Eazy-E got a hologram.
And Tupac.
Tupac got a hologram, and then
I don't know if there was a Biggie hologram.
No, there was a Michael Jackson hologram at some point.
I mean, but you don't need a hologram Biggie. All you need is a dark-skinned brother from Brooklyn. Some weight on him, and you're good to go. You know what was interesting? Did you look at the Vlad TV interview with Coleon Noir?
No, I didn't know he did one. How
you should
did
look
that
at
go?
that. It was good. I think Coleon was great on there. It's funny. So Vlad is this Russian dude that has this. He's been doing it for a long time. He interviews rappers and all kinds of stuff like that, or even mob guys sometimes. He had a mob guy on one of his things. But he's into guns, but he's very anti-gun when he's talking to Coleon Noir. It's really interesting. You know, there's some of these dudes who believe, like, you've met the guy, right, who believes he is good enough to have guns, nobody else.
Is he one of those?
I think so. That's my opinion
a bunch of
of him. Yeah, but pretty much like FUD territory. But it was a really good interview that he did because it was after the whole Killer Mike thing that Coleon Noir did and was caused. If you ever look at that, that was good stuff. Killer Mike had very good position on guns, and then when they put all the pressure on him, and like Walter says, they threatened him with the money. Look, Walter, I was just doing that before you looked up.
I know.
Yeah, he backed all the way off, man. They were threatening on pulling all that money from him. So, what is this? What are people sending me pictures of here?
But yeah, so one thing that Freeway Ricky guy taught me is the gray man absolutely works. So for you, I'll fill in Walter because did you see any of that, Hank?
No.
Freeway Ricky interview?
No.
So he was a big cocaine dealer back in the 80s.
Yeah, I know who he is. Yeah. He was he was the biggest.
Yeah, he was the biggest. And the way he got away with it for so long is he dressed like a homeless guy. He didn't wear any jewelry. He didn't buy any nice cars or nice houses.
Yeah, right. He
and
didn't draw any attention to himself.
Perfectly blended in.
Right, and that's where a lot of people make a mistake.
Hmm?
They start living large, and it's like it don't take a second for the IRS guy to go, boom.
Yeah.
What's this? He went from being Joe mechanic to being driving a Ferrari or 2 or 3 Ferraris. This ain't normal.
Yeah.
Yep. He was saying that people were getting busted left and right because they were driving Maseratis and Ferraris, and he's like, he had like an old shitty car, old dirty clothes. Nobody knew who he was.
And they have an entourage.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Have you heard of the rapper Rick Ross, the Florida rapper? That's who he's. You know, these rappers always give themselves names of big drug dealers and gangsters.
He's based. Oh yeah. He's based on him. His name's Rick Ross.
Yeah, he's based on Freeway Ricky Ross.
Yeah, but he's not the real deal. Like.
So
Freeway.
what happened to Freeway Ricky?
He went to jail for a while, but he's out now, and he's actually making a lot of money. I think he has a marijuana app or something that.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
I didn't know he did that.
Yeah.
I just was interested in hearing his story.
He's doing it legally now. The man can't get him.
And it's funny because even Vlad TV asked him, he was like, if you could go back and do, like, if you were telling a kid now how to come up in the world, what would you do? And he was like, I'd get $50. I'd go buy me some cocaine. I'd turn that cocaine into $100. Then I'd buy $100 of cocaine, and I'd turn that into $200. I was like, dude, you're not supposed to be telling people to go buy drugs.
You sound like a rap song.
Yeah.
I get that 50, then I flip it.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody's asking, did anybody talk about the Streetball Glock magazine conversion from SHF?
Did we ask? Walter about it. Yes. What do you have to say, Walt?
Working on the Gen 2 of the prototype right now. Chris was cutting metal today. I saw the machine running when I got back to the shop. So it's going to happen. It'll be a shot. So
it can't be a version 2 if it's a prototype. It's got to be a point something because 1.0 is release.
Is that the etiquette of how that works?
That's how when you release like apps and stuff. 1.0.
Okay, so it can't be 1 in the first place since it's not released yet.
Nope.
So it's the Hank Point 2.
All
it's
right.
the Hank Point 2. It's the Hank Point 2, Walter. Just go with that.
The video that I shot the other day of it shooting, that part of it's all the same. It's just simply a mag catch change that we're employing, make my life a little easier. And he's remachining that version, and then it'll be ready to go. So
someone wants to know release date.
I don't know that yet because aside from the lower itself, there's a bolt. The bolt has to change a little bit, and there is it should be last shot hold open if everything goes like we're talking. And I have to have those parts made. So there's a few parts that have to be made that'll be made outside from Safety Over Firearms because I don't do sheet metal bending and stuff like that. So.
Okay, and then so therefore you don't have price yet either, right?
No, not yet, not completely. But and after this one, it looks like we're probably going to delve into this CZ Scorpion magazine.
That's gonna be cool.
And that does not require a new bolt and such. So
is that going to work with? Are you going to make sure it works with the PSA mags as well?
Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, primarily, because
those are the cheaper ones. That's what everybody
cheaper
want.
ones. Yeah, but we're gonna look at all of it. But,
So are you gonna? If we get a chance, we'll do a video on it before SHOT Show.
Yeah.
If they could just get this done. Let me throw this picture up here, Walter. I sent you this in case you want to see what I'm gonna do. Someone sent in this awesome picture of the Boogaloo.
I didn't get this picture. What the hell?
That is the funniest thing I've seen in a long time.
Oh gosh.
Holy shit.
Someone let me make sure I give
let me guess.
No, it's not who you think it is. So here goes Walter of the Boogaloo.
What the hell? In a tutu? Is that what I'm in there? Like a
Yeah, that came from Howen Pinder.
Wow, that's a very creative soul there. I mean,
shout out to Howen Pinder showing us the true Boogaloo picture. Here, I'll throw it up again for anyone who didn't see it. And get a clear look at it. Basically, for the people listening on audio, which we have people all over the world listening on audio, Walter, including in Cyprus. We've got people in
Oh, dear,
Cyprus
yes.
listening to us on audio. We've had people in Iran. So it's the SHTF 50. It's Walter with the SHF logo.
The ball gag
The
with
ball-
the red ball gag.
Yeah, red ball gag, and he's wearing a tutu and some boots.
Oh dear.
And there's an electric type font behind him that says Boogaloo. So there you go. That's awesome. Thank you, Howard Pender. We appreciate that. I'm not sure what his screen name is up here. If you're in the chat right now, let me know and I'll give a shout out to you by your screen name. But that was funny.
That's good. That took some work.
There we go. We're
Working on
getting
that
better.
one.
We're getting better. We're getting it. It's coming in close. Walter, you can patch size
sir.
that. So
Yeah,
there you go.
that's what it is. Chris Bullitt. It's from Ace Ventura. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
By the way,
Oh.
trademark Hank Strange Media, Captain Boogaloo.
Captain. That is the official Captain Boogaloo.
American Gun Chick says, I came back just in time. Laugh out loud.
Oh shit.
There you go. I guarantee you we can get Brickell to do a video with you with Captain Boogaloo. I guarantee.
I'm not
She's-
getting that good up on.
Yeah, come on. Brickell,
I
come
don't
on.
care. I don't-
You're not just to do a video with American Gun Chick, you're not going to do it?
As long as I don't have to wear no get up, yeah, I'm game.
Man. Captain Boogaloo. There you go. There you go.
Yeah. Somehow I got put into that.
Yeah. Eric Gonzalez says that's the dress code for the 20th in Virginia. John Crump says I will be in the middle of Boogaloo on the 20th. American Gun Chick says done.
Done.
She's in. She's in. Oh, that would be so. I'm telling you, Walter, it would be awesome. That would go viral. That'll go viral. Oh, you know what would be awesome? You and American Gun Chick rapping. I'll write the rap.
All right,
All
you're
right.
at the rap.
I'll write it
We'll
up for you.
we'll
All
lay
right.
it down.
Oh, Jim Way Jam. That's who Howard Pender is. Thank you very much. We appreciate it, sir. Nice. There you go. That's getting honed in, man. I'm liking it. It's getting there. It's getting there.
Okay, so I'm gonna end on this then for the night. Deputies, Florida man allegedly broke into a home to suck victim's toes.
Oh,
I didn't really
I like
need
the
that.
silence.
I didn't really need that. Thank you very much.
I had to
Was
be
this a male or female victim?
the Florida man? Florida police are warning residents to be on the lookout.
where is it at?
According to Bradenton Herald,
Oh,
Bradenton.
Walter says, "Oh, Bradenton."
That's south. That's
A 20-year-old victim was awakened by a man sucking on his toes around
Oh.
30 a.m. on Tuesday.
There's
This
a guy
was-
on
Man-on-man toe action is not
Victim-
approved.
The victim was sleeping in his bedroom when the suspect somehow entered the locked Bradenton home. When the victim asked the man what he was doing, the stranger replied that, quote, he was there to suck toes.
Patrick, I don't think I want to hear any more of this.
No more.
Yeah,
Come on.
thank you. Yeah.
No more.
I'd rather hear you talk about the dead egg again.
You fucking imagine? He's just like, I'm just here to suck some toes.
All right, not
I'm
quite
here.
as bad.
I'm here to flip some hoes and suck some toes. And where it goes after that, nobody knows.
No.
Oh my
Well,
lord.
that's my Florida man for the night. There you go.
Oh,
Not
Florida
quite-
man,
not
you
quite-
are shameful.
Did anybody
Shame.
else see the guy breaks into a fast food restaurant? This
God.
brother
Yeah,
breaks into a
camera
fast
down,
food
Walter.
restaurant.
Your camera went up for some reason.
Oh,
Yeah.
he breaks into the fast food restaurant, starts up the fryer, drops fries, cooks him some like chicken nuggets, he eats a meal, and he goes to sleep for like 3 hours inside, laid down on the floor and slept, and I guess he finally woke up and he took off. Yeah.
Did he
caught him on
work
the
there?
camera.
Did he was?
This was on live PD too. They were showing.
Oh, live PD, of course.
Crime of the week or something.
Oh, Lord.
And it was like, and they're all ejaculating. He must work at a fast food restaurant. He knows how to
Absolutely.
run
Yeah. How do you
Yeah.
even get that started? You have to know. Yeah, you have to know. Okay, John Crump gave us $2. He says, "Can you give Matthew a shout out real quick? Shout out to Matthew Crump. Go buy some Scout cookies. I don't know. I'm guessing he's still selling Scout cookies. So popcorn. I'm sorry, popcorn. My bad. Lola had to remind me of that. I totally forgot. There you go. Let's see. American Gun Chick says, "Oh Lord, on a side note, I am almost done with an album." Oh, nice. It may get crazier than the last one. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Well, you got to let us get up on some music videos there. You know, I like to do that. I didn't know she was doing a whole album.
I'm sleeping with my shoes on tonight.
Yeah. Rocky Mountain Bear says, I could have gone my entire life without hearing that. I was eating dinner, not anymore. Feet are nasty. Richard Munder says, goat sucker. Now they have the Florida toe sucker. Laugh out loud.
Toe sucker out loud, just like hunting for people.
Yeah. Michael Avens did say, I'm sleeping with my shoes on tonight. Oh, Lord. Well, here's what I will tell you. If you're in Florida, man, these Republicans, they need to be called to order, man. Even if your Republican wasn't in that list that we gave earlier, please talk to your Republicans. Tell them to stick to the Constitution, to preserve the Second Amendment, because
they will be voted out. That's all they care about. Stick to it, or I will vote you out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to. Yeah, the Ed Hooper dude that's just too much, man. No.
Keith Perry's gotta go.
Yeah. Keith Perry is the guy that we have here that represents myself and Patrick, actually. And it really sucks, man. I'm really disappointed in Republicans in general around the country. You guys need to stop playing both sides of the fence here. Like Walter said, stop taking money from Bloomberg. I'm sure Keith Perry has some of that Bloomberg money shoved all the way up his ass. And we gotta.
Once you take that money, you're beholden.
Yeah.
No, you take it. That's like taking it from the devil.
Yeah, we need to meme those guys. So if anyone comes up with a meme for those people, let me know. Hit me up on social media or something like that. We'll get it out there.
I think they all belong to the bootlicker party.
Yeah, absolutely.
I call them bootlickers. They're looking to Bloomberg Soros boots, man.
Yeah, that's got to end.
I would say something even worse than that, but
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. That's got to end. So listen, everyone smash the thumbs ups. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to get Babyface P to tell us how to follow him, get in touch with him, support him, how you can get your own 2A hat.
You got to ask the guy that sent it to me, and unfortunately I don't remember his username at the moment, but I'll go find it. But you can find me at babyfaceP.com. We'll take it to my Facebook where you can message me. I do read through all my comments and stuff on the videos, and I put out a video this week. I'll have something new next week. I've been trying to do one a week. That is youtube.com/babyfaceP. If you guys don't actively watch Hank's show, I do a lot of I don't do very many gun reviews. That's not really my thing. I do a lot of building crap. So go check that out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're doing good stuff. Walter, how can the folks out there, how can they follow you, Walt?
Don't look for Boogaloo. That's for sure.
Captain Boogaloo.
No, you can follow me on it. We have videos on Safety Hour Firearms has them on YouTube. There's Facebook. There's Instagram. Safety Hour Firearms. Over on Mines, there's some Safety Hour Firearms stuff. Plus, there's some Dirtfoot racing stuff over on Mines too. So check that out. Plus, Dirtfoot has a YouTube channel too. There's Stenparts.com. There's SafetyHourFirearms.com, and there's Gunstreamer too. So
yeah.
Check them out.
Yeah, Walter is like a social media mogul right now.
I know. It can strangle you. Just like.
A couple of things here. John Crump says Marsh Touré has an event in Manassas, Virginia, on Saturday. So if anyone out there is able to attend or share or support that, Manassas.
Manassas is like going into the belly of the beast.
Yeah, I wanted to say Manassas, but it's Manassas.
Okay. Manassas is like Lib Central. I mean, that's a lot of money in Manassas.
Yeah. Make sure you attend that. Also, if you're going to be at SHOT Show, Maj has a panel at SHOT Show, which I'm going to be on. So if you're going to be at SHOT Show, check that out. Yeah, I'm going to be on that. Yeah, I'm going to be on that panel. Yeah. John Crump says that Bloomberg bought Virginia. Yes, agree with that. Hughes says Democrat is the new socialist. Republicans are the new Democrats. Yes. And American Gun Chick says, I'm going to brag for a second. I randomly walked into a range and ran in to Lieutenant Colonel Alan West tonight and got to shoot his Henry rifle. #blessed. You're living your best life right there. No, that's cool. I like Alan West. He's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately for him, he was like, where was he? Did he represent West Palm Beach or something? I hope he gets a better thing that will support him, because he had, like, his district that he was in was very liberal, right? right?
I'm not sure, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully I'm not sure what he's gonna get up to, but yeah, that's cool, dude. Congrats on that. Yes, you are living your best life. Let's see. Do we have any other shout outs before we get out of here? No, I don't know. Okay, so cool. I'm going to drop the end on everyone. Now, you need to go to hankstrange.com. That's how you find out everything we're up to. We got the email list over there. You can go sign up for the email list. What else do we have there? We have the links to all this podcast stuff. You can literally listen to the podcast from the tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to do the SHOT Show thing tomorrow.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to the SHOT Show. I think.
Yeah, Walter's going. You're all ready to go, Walter, right? Everything is all set.
All ready to go. Oh, that's a joke.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Alan West is in Texas. Okay, I was thinking about who was it?
Yeah. No.
Somebody else is who you're thinking about.
Yeah, she
Have
says
a
he
good
lives
night,
in
everybody.
Dallas right now. Wasn't Alan?
Alan West is a black man, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but he
he's
was
black.
wasn't
Black
he
male, right?
wasn't he
representing
wasn't he
Florida, I
representing Florida? Yeah, I thought he was.
he was, yeah,
maybe he
yeah.
moved out. Maybe he moved out of Florida and went to Texas. I thought he was
Is
representing.
this really
Florida.
how you want to end the night?
Yes, that's how we're gonna do it. If we're wrong, we'll be wrong. We'll look it up. Look it up, Patrick. We'll talk about it tomorrow. You let us know the old guy's messing up again, according to we didn't eat black dead eggs.
Black dead eggs.
Yeah,
Yep,
so
that's
we're
what made
fine.
me who I am.
Yeah. All right. Any final words, or is that the final word from you guys? All right. We're out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace. We're out.